Yeah, my screen went black because power settings. So I'm just paranoid now that my recording wasn't working. So cool.
Then I shall wait.
No, it's done.
Green? All right.
No, you can operate.
What?
We
Sorry.
We'll begin the session going upstairs. Gronon, the magnificent, Gronon the chosen one, Gronon the breaker of chains, of the order of cages, carrier of the lost and the forgotten, spokesman for toil, dirt under the fingernails, liberator, perhaps. You have led with you a sizable congregation from the Red Market in the lower city towards the upper city of Mazanol. You descend the well, the great stone staircase in the core of the hollowed-out mountain towards the lower corridors of the upper city. The guards at the bottom end have been told to hold their fire for 10 minutes, and it begins to look as though it might fully take those 10 minutes for all of your group to make their way onto the steps. A few eyes are cast here and there, a few glances.
Glances at. Sorry.
Between the dwarves on the steps, for example, and some of the other city guards, for example, are making their way up.
Do they look worried?
You can make an insight check if you'd like.
Yeah. Well, tell me. Oh, shit. Staring at the table.
I'll do.
That will definitely do. It's 20 plus something, Jed.
Yeah. Do you know what? There's a mixture of emotions in it. These are furtive glances. From the guards that walk with you, the tone is resentment. And that's not unreasonable. There's a sense that, certain people who are used to being trusted, used to being part of an order, used to being, the allies, comrades, mates, teammates on the same side, were suddenly distrusted, were suddenly turned away. You have seen dead dwarves shot through with metal shot at the bottom of the well. You don't know how many of these guards might have tried to make their way to the upper city only to be turned back under fire. And those that didn't experience it themselves will likely have told the others. The flip side emotion is suspicion, concern, relief. Relief that perhaps their friend, their maybe former friend, we'll see how this resolves, has made it out alive and unharmed. But generally there is concern, there is surprise. The upper city knows hunger, it is overcrowded, it is embargoed, but it is nothing like what has happened below decks. The pillaging and the rioting and the stripping of assets, the accumulation of things, followed by the desperate kind of patchwork of community in places like the market. You don't know what other little pockets of safety might have emerged. You don't know what other little gangs might have formed in a desperate bid to stay alive down in the lower city. So there is a mixture of emotions here.
Understood.
But people are not celebrating yet. Certainly not anyone who is armed is happy to see what's going on here.
We brought peace to the city. Maybe tell them that. Go on, no.
No, I'm not going to tell them anything.
But 100
Continue stretch of the door heist.
Yeah. You ascend, and as you spill out into the upper city, the dwarves behind you, some cheer, some wave, some do peel off, break away, are embraced by other refugees, other dwarves huddled under blankets at the top of the well. This open space, these broader colonnades and passageways. The upper city is not tracked and supported by cart travel as the lower is. There are broad promenades and walkways. But torches are beginning to be lit and carried. You realize the halls, the public spaces, may not be well lit, as generally they are served by daylight, which is piped through, prismatically reflected around the corridors of the upper city. And in anywhere private, anywhere secluded away, even within businesses, there will be artificial light sources. But here in the halls, people may be expected to carry their own torch or candle. And many people here will not have such a thing. But they do seem happy to see one another. There are squeals of delight and relief and excitement. There are tears quickly. Many whom you have led to safety feel now that you have delivered on this. And some sit, some peel away looking for food. But many, let's say about half, including any that are armed, including many that you had met before, they stick with you. Their eyes are firmly on you, on your deputy, Mr. Powders. The sense is where now? What's next?
Straight to the store heist.
Yeah, absolutely.
No Italian.
And you know the route. You know it well. Eyes are on you now as you lead armed men, angry dwarves, men and women here, through the upper city.
Good. I will be rallying them to join us. Any others that are there?
Yeah, absolutely.
With, cries of, the time of change is upon us. We must bring the councillors to task.
And so by the time you arrive, you cut quite an imposing force. And so the guards at the gate close their ranks, bring the heads of their pikes together, hold hands and palms towards you. So you can't simply barge in here.
We were sent by Cleve.
You're not there, Jeffrey.
Am I not? Okay, fair enough.
No, you're with us.
I believe
No.
Gronon has gone with the dwarves alone, and everyone.
Oh,
else has
okay,
gone
yeah. Got you.
Yeah,
no,
we're
sorry.
all safe, basically. Gronom's not.
Cool.
And aside, our quarrel is not with you. And our quarrel is not one of violence. Stand aside, guards. You will want to listen to this as well.
There's some uncertainty, but these guys are, among other things, not stupid enough to stand in the way of such a mob, and they have seen you come in and out.
Mm.
You are a known quantity here, and that quantity they know is significant. And so they do. One cracks the door, checks, gives a little notice to those waiting inside, and then flings it open. Did you bring Harlow up with you? I believe you did.
He's with me. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
I believe so. Yeah, because the guy took prisoners, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think.
And Dunbarn is among your flock as well, I believe.
Yeah, I would have assumed they went with the dwarves.
Yeah.
Who did I
It's
take
just-
up? Just the prisoners?
I think it was just all the prisoners, Gav.
It's 40
Or did
orcs and 3 giants with us, Gav.
No, sure, no. Dunbarn. Gav went
Oh,
up.
hang on.
Yeah, Gav went up
Dunbarn.
with Dunbarn and the
Oh, did you? I
prisoners.
thought Gav
No,
was-
I took Dunbarn and Harlow.
Yeah, you already
Because it said-
teleported up.
Okay,
Yeah.
they were already
Yeah,
up there.
sure,
Yeah.
sure was a
Oh,
little resentful,
yes.
but Dunbarn
Absolutely.
seems respectful and Harlow backs us too.
Yes,
is what I've
that's
written.
yes, that's yeah, Sorry, I'm reminding myself rather than kind of slipping these things through. Yeah, thanks for that.
Absolutely fine.
Obadiah has made his way back down safely. Yeah, absolutely. And so you enter the room, and those dwarves present are looking sheepish together. In the corner, Dunbarn stands back. He is looking over towards... Who have we got here? Headine of the Smiths clan, Susoran of the Jewelers clan. One of the Golden Voice is laying, cowering on the floor. Two others are stood with heads down. They look sheepish, cowed.
Okay.
It's reasonable to assume that those two council members have been beating this one member of the Golden Voice. Their postures, their shoulders heave with breath.
I will come, walk through and usher people to follow. And those that can't, I want to fill the place with everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And you bum rush it, and within moments, this room, which is large, given that it's meant to hold,
I don't want to bum rush it. I just want to be like, we go in like a wave. Like the end of V for Vendetta when they go through the fucking barricades. Make sense?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't take long though for it to feel full. Powders is with you. As I say, the room has 12 seats, given that it's normally a host of 9.
Mm.
There are a couple of rooms for guest speakers, but they are uncomfortable. But suddenly you have filled the space so it is standing room only. Is there any particular dwarf whom you would like to... Any particular one of the council members whom you would like to position yourself near? Near Highcleve, I'm assuming, but...
Yes, please, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, near Highcleve. Hopefully Dunbarn is nearby as well.
Dunbarn is across the room from there, so Dunbarn is near the two dwarves that have been, the two councilmen who've been beating one of the Golden Voice.
Excellent.
He's been watching that happen. But Highcleve, you can find yourself close to, and there's some bewilderment from the looks of the other council members who are waiting here.
So as people start to shuffle in, I'll start to fly and go above them and be above everyone. Because why not?
Yeah.
And I will use thaumaturgy and I suppose begin to speak. It is done, Simon. Guitar.
What?
I can't hear Sam there.
You cut out for a sec.
It is done, Simon, and then...
The tat.
Can you hear me now?
Medium?
Medium? I think I've losing my headset. No, the microphone.
Yeah.
Fine. Anyway,
it's
it is done, Simon. The deal has been completed. My side of the bargain has been held up. Are you a man of your word, and will you stand down before all these witnesses and allow the council to reform under a new, truer dwarvish mantra, that of toil and work, that made the dwarfs what the dwarfs are? What
If that
say
is,
you?
and he brings his chin up towards you. He is there among the crowd, and the eyes are on him. And he says, if that is what the people want.
Yeah.
And there is a kind of murmur that bleeds towards a cheer. A quiet cheer in the room. Certainly not as loud as 70 people could muster. Yay. But a general sense of, hey, aye!
Yeah, tapping of, shields or something. The one that have got them or whatever.
Yeah, a fresh face. A clean cut. Highcleve nods. And he stands on a chair and looks then towards those other clan heads. Doesn't, you can work out quite easily what he's doing, whom he's looking towards. And he reaches and pulls at the string, holding his breastplate in place. Now, Highcleve isn't a young dwarf. His beard isn't kind of white-grey, but it's certainly got a touch of the badger about it. He's got the cracks around his eyes. He's a few hundred years old if he's a day.
Mm-hmm.
He's not looking fully ancient here, but it takes him longer maybe than it should, and you realise as he's just trying to undo the knot on his armour, his hands aren't as able as maybe they once were. They aren't as strong as they ought to be. And everyone can see it. Everyone can see him fumbling a little bit. It is not dignified. But he loosens it, and he lets the armour clatter to the ground.
Man.
He looks to you, hovering above him. Cast your die, then. Swing your axe.
Aye. Okay. Right.
Good fortune to all of you. And he steps down off the chair and turns to leave. There is some movement in the room, so Highcleve is pushing his way through the room, and looking again, you can make out Headiron, Susorin following him.
Okay.
Matur, the dwarf, so that there are two other clan heads, Sugar and Matur, these are alchemy and food and drink. They appear to have remained in their spots. Dunbarn has not moved. Harlow has not moved. Harlow still looks a little lost as to what's going on. You can pick him out without too much difficulty. He's in his seat where he thinks he should be.
What say the rest of you? I'll turn to them in a sweet orator pose, like something out of Rome. What say the rest of you, councillors? During your time, you have allowed treachery to befell the dwarfs. A religion that has summoned demons upon this place and forced you to go against that is all of decent and maintain an army of slaves to do thy bidding instead of doing things the correct dwarven way. What say you? Will you stand down and allow this store heist to be remade?
Headiron stands away from this cowering golden-voiced dwarf now and looks up to you and says, "No, wait, no, Headiron left. Sugar,
Yes,
who is the alchemist, sorry, yeah, for misspeaking. Sugar, the alchemist, has been near his seat, not quite sat, but stands now on his seat to be heard above the crowd. We've spoken two of us that remain with ourselves intact. This city, these people will need a leader who understands leadership. I feel that Sorin, our jeweler, would make a fine gelder. He knows how to tie a knot, among other things. And there is a ripple of laughter through the room.
Jed, for my edification, what is the normal process here to replace the Gelder?
So, there was some discussion about it last week. Basically, so dwarves in a particular clan will get together, especially elder dwarves will get together and basically agree. It's not a strict vote, but agree on a clan head. And then the clan heads will consult as to who a Gelder should be. They consult with one another and consult with their clan members. And so basically, the oldest dwarves tend to just talk about who it is. The thing is then is that Highcleve himself has been Gelder for at least a century. So people might not remember how to do it.
Okay, no problem. I will, I guess, say that is well. I have no intention of stopping due process, but we will change one thing. Instead of this being a vote between some of the dwarfs, those in a advantageous position, those that would profit off of the evils that have happened here. This time, those that are still alive and any, able man of whatever classes as an adult age yet for a dwarf.
Able man.
About 40, something like that.
Yeah, I'm specifically saying able man as well.
Yeah.
Will vote for Gelder.
There is some kind of babble. There is some objection, and there is some shouting at one another within the room. There are dwarves that are shouting abuse at you. Dwarves in the crowd which you have led.
Okay.
And yeah, absolutely. Some of them are you're balmy. Some of them are, my boy's 40 and he doesn't know a fucking hammer from a pick. How would you let him vote? And things like that. And then in the mix there are shut up or dwarves shouting at other dwarves in this. It feels briefly like it's going to get away from you.
Okay. It's getting
yeah.
away from me, is that what you're saying? Sorry, Jed.
It feels briefly like that, and then Powders from by your side clicks his fingers, kicks out sparks like off an anvil or a strip of magnesium.
My man. Carry on. Sorry.
It is enough to get the attention of the group. And he calls up. He also stands here on a chair now and calls up and says, brothers, workers, we all are in the dirt. We all are beneath the mountain. None of us, don't you see, none of us should be now born to superiority. We must reach it through hard work. And indeed, this, what did you say, voting? Well, it is part of our duties, of our responsibilities, of our toil.
Fucking unnatural.
But let every apprentice, every dwarf that can hold a nail or twist a spanner. Indeed, let this be his work also.
I will lay a hand on his shoulder.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm not going to say anything to him.
I'm going to get you Sound to make. I think this sounds like a persuasion check. Maybe performance if you'd rather.
No.
Yeah.
Persuasion. Abso-bloody-lutely, Jed.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oof.
I'm gonna cash that in.
Feeling inspired.
I wish I wasn't.
I don't have one to give you.
You're not here.
I know, but I keep...
That's a 1, Jed.
Huh?
That's a 10 total.
a 10 off a 1 is it's not bad.
Still a 1.
Still one.
For skill checks, it's just the total. It's
Oh,
not
is
an
it?
attack. It's not an
Okay.
attack roll.
I'm sure you've told
yeah.
me that before.
Yeah, skill checks aren't crit or succeed or fail. It's only attacks that do that. And if that's not in the rules, I'm ruling it.
You are the rules, Jed.
Yes, exactly. It's
Oh,
ruling,
the law.
ruling rather than a rule, if
Oh, the
best.
law.
Yeah. There's some murmur. Things return. Some people in the room do seem convinced. Others less so. And it takes a moment before Sorin the jeweler
Hang on.
also stands. Yep.
Mr. Powders did step in there. Does he not get some
Yeah.
sort of role in this? Sort of,
I'm considering that within the outcome here.
okay. Roger. Worth checking.
Yeah, absolutely. It plays into difficulty check and things like that.
Okay, cool.
But ultimately, that's DM acting towards DM's results. So your previous and established relationship with Mr. Powders, your involvement with him, you're giving him some weight in the crowd. That'll affect how difficult this was. Like a 10 isn't going to lead you being stoned.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to give him a roll, and I think it would be weird for my actions to give you advantage. Does that make sense?
Yes, it would. Be,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I appreciate you asking.
Yeah.
So Sorin the jeweler eventually stands. Says, "We will do it." His hands are broad, but and soft. You can see the skin from here. Many dwarves here wear heavy gloves, especially those armed, leather perhaps. So Sorin's armor is fine. His gloves, such as they are, cover the backs of his hands only. His palms, his fingertips are fully exposed, and where many dwarves would wear an axe or a hammer or a pick at their belt, he has pliers. He has a chisel. Sorin speaks over the crowd, and people listen. He says, "We will do it. If that should go." The alchemist claps. Harlow, head of mining, unsure, claps.
He doesn't know what's going on, does he?
Dunbarn, the storm priest from across the room, stands, claps.
Does he now? Interesting.
By your side, Mr. Powders. Mr. Powders, a member of the alchemist family clan. In case there's any doubt, claps. And the dwarves within the room, seeing Sorin, perhaps nominated as a leader already, give rise to your suggestions. They begin to clap and cheer, and bang fist against breastplate, or stomp boots on the stone floor.
Brilliant.
Who is the Sorin?
Thorin is the head of the Jewelers clan.
Yeah, some dickhead.
Oh,
who knows?
sorry, I just wrote it down with a really
Yeah.
weird spelling, so I couldn't read my own interpretation of the word. Cool.
Yeah, it's just some dickhead. Who cares?
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Mazenol's going to become a trade depot now.
Balinal's just become a union. What are you talking
So
about?
what? 70 people just decide the fate of a fucking.
Yep.
70. There was two.
Yeah.
There was like 200 dwarfs or something, wasn't there? We rolled for it.
No.
Remember?
You had 131 dwarves follow you.
There
Jed
you
said
go.
that half of them split away, which left you with 65. And then a couple more came to you.
A
So
number
yeah,
of them while you've been
Vic-
walking
Vic
through
is
the
right.
upper city.
Cool.
In terms of what you can get into the room, yeah,
So-
it's you and the council members and 70 odd
For the
others.
sake of the photo op,
About
though, there's a
70
lot of dwarves
dwarves.
following you. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's still an imposing body of mass. to
Well,
be walking through.
considering how many dwarfs there were in this place,
Yeah.
and armed now, who've died in this revolution. Cool. Then Then make it so. I will leave you in the charge of Mr. Powders.
Nope.
He remains
Oh.
on his chair.
Who,
And
Mr. Powders?
Yeah, he stands. Mr. Powders remains stood on the chair next to you, from where he was kicking out Spark. But he's looking towards Shigur and Sasurin with palms clasped, in kind of almost like he's making prayer, and then he offers them up to you. His head is bowed and his palms are pressed together.
Sweet.
Your flying boots carry you from the room?
Yeah, I think so. I will just leave, and as I am going, I will message Mr. Powders and say, "Over to you, my friend."
The room continues to clatter and to cheer as you leave. Eyes follow you for a while and then twist and turn back to one another. Dwarves in that room seem happy. The door opens and you are out into the city once again.
Brilliant. And as I'm leaving, I'll just be saying, chanting things of "My time must now be spent elsewhere, for others are suffering at the hands of injustice." Blah 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 blah. And I'll make my way to the cable car and throw myself off the edge.
Some could say that was democracy manifest.
Yeah. When I come back, that better be the most corrupt fucking city in the world. Anyway.
Those of you at river level push at the great iron doors that lead out to Bedden Reach proper. And the glow of evening fills your eyes. The cold riverside air feels fresh across your brows. The clamour and ding of the docks as things tidy away, as sailors holler to one another, and dockhands moan and hitch their trousers back up.
Well, hey, what have they been up to?
Yep.
Yeah, sailors.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Each other.
Yep. And behind you, a family of orcs, suddenly freed, on their way to liberated life, breathes fresh air and sees sky for the first time. What would you like to do?
Just like before, Jed, I think I'd like to talk them through it.
Okay.
Loud enough so more than just this family can hear.
Yeah.
But I try to alleviate some concerns, like that ball of nuclear energy in the sky isn't going to kill them all.
Yeah.
But I'd also like to warn them that we're coming into a town of humans that would
Would like to
Or-
kill them.
a little bit that might not like the idea of hundreds of people moving through their town. And I'll also make sure I plant the idea that in this town we will be buying food. So
Oh, yeah.
there's no need to steal it, is the implication.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to just make it like we might even, if there's a path around the town, we might take that. But some of us will definitely be going into town to purchase horses and carts and probably multiple wagons and as much food as the town would
Humanly
sell us.
possible.
Yeah.
So I asked
Or we could
the
bargain.
AI
Sorry,
how
Oh.
much food we might need. for-
don't give them the real answer.
Don't
Rick.
give real numbers. Don't give real numbers. We need 100 gold worth of food, max.
Well, it's the value of it is probably not the problem. The problem is probably the quantity that we have to transport.
Yeah,
Probably
you're talking.
several thousand tons or whatever.
But this
For
is
a
what I was
year,
thinking.
it's,
This is what I was thinking the other day.
For a year, it's quite a lot.
Go on, give us a year.
Oh, God.
£116,800.
I have no idea what a pound is, mate. I live in the
It's
future.
2.2
Just
ki-
divide
2.2
it
pounds
by
per
2.
kilo.
Just divide it by
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
So 80-something thousand kilos, which is 80 tons. So 80
Easy.
cartloads for a year.
Easy.
Okay. I'm learning. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, Jed. I'm just trying to explain it to them.
Yeah, absolutely. The space that you've opened out onto, so the gate feeds directly onto the dock. The minecart tracks continue out for directly loading, dwarven wares kind of in and out of the lower city, on and off of ships. And so the kind of dock front, kind of lowland area, this stone-built walkway, continues long and straight, and there is a broad section of what is effectively canal.
That was for 50 orcs and 3 giants. I don't know how many orcs we had with us, though. So I just put 50 as
Oh,
a random
okay, so
number.
we need
Okay.
10 more.
I think we had 40 orcs and 3 giants.
Oh my God.
It's all
The
you
number
can't
doesn't
run a
matter.
whole
The
fucking
number doesn't
slavery
matter.
on 40
The number
orcs.
doesn't matter.
No, but that's what you
We didn't
found.
get all of them. I was about to say, we didn't get all of them. Found there was 20 in the red market, and we found 20 outside of Golrod's place.
Jesus, so we
Plus a
fucked
few
up
others.
entirely.
Well, we didn't search the rest of the fucking caves,
I
did we?
did tell them to find the
This
rest of the
is
slaves.
yeah. This is why I was going to interrogate Golrod's head to find out how many slaves there were in total, etc., etc. But then you guys said we weren't. We were going to leave it to the others. So.
We didn't say why.
I did in the last session. I said to interrogate him to find out numbers, and you guys
Are you
were like, "Oh, we're
interrogating
leaving."
but no, interrogating a zealot is when he doesn't have to tell the truth.
Yeah,
It's
you need
pointless.
zone of truth to
Mm.
really get fucking.
So we should talk to these orcs. But anyway, okay.
They were.
Yep.
I'm going to let you guys enjoy that fuck up for a bit.
There is a nod of comprehension, though, from the families ahead of you, the orcs around you. And
Sorry,
then eventually,
and who of the players is it? Just Ramlan that's back in the city.
Ronan is the only person that's remained in the city. The rest of you are here, out on the docks of Bedenreach.
Cool.
I'm on my way.
We'll play for a little way here, I think, before Gronon catches up, I'm afraid. But
Yeah, exactly. I'm on my way. Doesn't
yeah,
matter.
The town we're planning on taking the orcs to, isn't that on the river?
it's on the
It
river.
is.
Aye.
Yeah.
So maybe we should take boats instead of wagons and carts.
If they've got enough boats, and we've got giants as well. So,
Giants should be able to fit on boats.
You know,
Came in on a boat.
walk down the river.
Originally, we came in on a boat, sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
But he's sailed back down, hasn't he?
Oh, God, yeah. Where did we send him in the end?
Who,
But-
Dearborn?
Back to High
Yeah.
Lorry, right?
Yeah, I
don't
think
remember
we
at all.
told him to come back to Ounce at some point.
Oh, yeah.
No,
I've
no, we told him to come back, like, to go up and come back in 5 days' time or some shit like that. But that was ages ago. That
He would have been
we
in
definitely
con-
missed that deadline.
Sure.
You
So he's
said for
probably
him
off doing his own
to
thing.
pick you up at. There was a house on the outside of Ansil in
Yeah, it was
3 days. Yeah,
Lord's house. Yeah.
yeah. There was a grand house, probably Beck's country house.
He might still be there.
It seems like
Like the
it's the sort of
senior.
guy that's not waiting around. Oh, and is David Beck still alive? We left him alive, yeah.
Yep.
Last you know of it, yeah.
Yep. In this town.
Okay, I think we
Let's,
better go have a chat to him.
No.
I think we should go rest up first.
Yep. That.
Sounds like a plan, doesn't it?
Yep.
Well, except, there's more than
Get the
just
orb.
us.
Yeah, but
Also,
Yeah,
you
but,
lads blew all your loads, so Can handle a little
No,
deck.
I've still got-
fucking plenty
Yeah,
of
there you
snow.
go. In that case, why are we resting? Throw dangers to the wind.
I've got like low level slots still, not really high level slots.
Give a shit. Just fucking.
Look, we got to go into town either way, and he's the one who controls all the fucking trade. And if we're buying, half the town's supplies, we're gonna.
Yeah,
need,
we'll do it in the
he's gonna get
morning.
involved.
But if we got the money for it, then doesn't matter, does it? Really?
What we should do is we should find somewhere to set up a camp just outside town, so the orcs and giants can get situated, so we can explain more to them, and at the same time get supplies and shit done.
Agreed. Except it's hard to set up camp when we don't have anything.
Well, I don't mean like actually set up camp. I just mean find somewhere to rest for a bit.
Find
I'm
somewhere
gonna
to
look
dump
for the
them.
closest spot of nature where there's not loads of buildings, and ritual cast, commune with nature, and
Oh.
look for a local spot about a mile outside of town.
Going to take you a little while just to walk out of town.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. As I say, it's but you're going to communicate this to the gang, kind of.
Yeah, I'll say to everyone.
Yeah.
Only you have to find a bit that's not like paved or anything. It just has to be a fucking grassy spot. where
Once
it's,
you're
you know-
confident, you can get away from. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. In which case, right, I'll give it a minute and just assume that Tor is walking along the river, walking towards the flowing part of the river, and
because the river's
Yeah.
going to be the easiest bit to get
Yeah.
back in with nature in it.
that makes
What
sense.
I might do is just go and sit in the river and cast it in there. No, because I got a ritual. Because I can hold my breath for an hour. So
Yeah, you absolutely could do that. So again, this part that is directly by the town, by the city, by the mountain front is, as I say, effectively wet dock. It is like canal.
Yeah.
It is artificially cut out where waterfalls and water flowing down the mountains feeds the river proper. Even then, it'll take you a few minutes to walk down there. But Tor, yeah, take yourself down the dock. Walks past the few ships that are still unloading, the few things that are prepping up for an early departure. Make me a perception check while you walk down and along it, Vic.
So, or is it 21?
21 total. You come across one particular ship, and they have dock hands. You can tell the difference between the crew and the dock hands based on the way they are dressed. The sailors have shoes, whereas the dock hands have heavy boots. The lightness and the heaviness of clothes. Dock hands will have coats on, it being winter now, whereas the sailors will be. The dock hands are there, but they are not unloading. They're not unloading crew. They are carrying off a man. The sailor who is carrying one end of the stretcher does not look particularly well. He is himself unsteady on the gangplank, and for sailors to be unsteady on a gangplank is unlike them. His eyes are bloodshot. His kind of, face is sweaty despite the cool summer evening. The man in the stretcher is breathing but weakly, and his arm slopes off the side. It is in places blue or purple or black, as though it has been beset with rot.
Okay.
He's a motherfucking zombie.
Well, that doesn't look very good. I'll obviously relay that back to the lads when I get back, but at the minute I will keep my distance. Would be tempted to roll a medical check for it. I'm not going to get that close.
You want to keep your distance?
Yeah, I'm going to keep my distance for now and just go and do what I was going to do. For
Yeah,
a second.
absolutely. Yeah, no problem. And
I
you
will
continue,
remember the ship and the location.
Yeah, what's the name of the boat? Let me give you the name of the boat. It is Yeah. Evie's pride. And it's Evie like it is on the map. You've got Evieton and Evie Wood.
Yeah.
Do you have a port name on it? Yes. Not that Sam would know this.
Yeah. Yes, and actually, yeah, they are. The port, it says Hyluri on it. But you continue down along the dock until eventually the flagstones wear out, and you are on beaten track once again. The road peters away from the water, where the water is beginning now to flow, and flow quickly as you would expect, with 24 mountain streams, waterfalls feeding in to make a mighty river here. As quickly as you might expect. And suddenly there is meadow around you. There is space of living, hopping, insect-infested greenery between the road and the riverside. You can make out one more boat coming upriver towards you. The oars flapping up the sides of it. Nothing more appears to be leaving dock tonight. You can just about make out where your friends should be at the mountain foot. But you sit to prepare your ritual as you commune with nature. For the rest of you, so Tor is going to be away for at least 20 minutes, maybe half an hour. If he's walked for 10 minutes, he's got to take 10 minutes to cast the spell. And come back again. What would you like to do? What would you like to do with your gaggle of orcs?
Oh, I think it'd be like tell everyone to like take a seat. We're gonna stock up for the journey,
Relax.
and I'll
I'll be
leave.
able to also. Oh, yeah, I can't now.
I'll leave maybe Tongi and Jethro to chill with the orcs, and I'll go into town to see if I can sort out either transport and or food.
Vision. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. The orcs disperse themselves a little away from the door. There is, you will recall, a pub not too far from the docks. And after a little bit, one of the slighter, probably younger orcs points over towards chairs. Or indeed,
No.
there is a table and some chairs set up outside.
No, don't go into the town yet. I've got to check in with the lord of the town, just in case it causes problems.
I'll take out a little. I've got some. What I grab? Grab 2 bottles of wine. Yeah, I'll take them out. Share them with the orc boys.
Okay.
Pass it around. Just a little relaxation.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like take a seat on the grass if there's grass nearby.
So there's not grass. It's mostly kind of hard cobblestones, flagstones. But there
Yeah,
are
sure.
some wooden crates that would be appropriate if you
I'll
want to
just
sit off the
sit on
floor.
a crate or sit on the ground. It doesn't really, like used
Yeah.
to sitting in caves anyway, so it doesn't matter. And I'm also, while I'm sat down, I'm gonna have a look around at the like assemblement of orcs, and
Yep.
like you mentioned, some of them have got like necklaces with trophies and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just curious if any of them are wearing necklaces with teeth.
Hmm.
Okay.
Besides me and Jeffro, is there any orcs that we just rescued that have got the same necklace as us?
That's a good question. Give me an investigation check.
Oh boy.
Investigation, right? Yeah, it has a -1.
Pretty good at that then.
Why is my dice not rolling? Roll. There we go.
It's because it's the lock grid, so you got to make sure you launch it.
Right, so that's a 14. Fuck.
14.
Not bad.
I'll come
I'd
back
have
to
really
that.
gone like a 20 just to get 19.
I'll come back with that. Obadiah, you are making your way into the town of Bedenreach. Is that the plan?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah. And so you wander away from the dock. It doesn't take long before you are in with other businesses that might be serving sailors, businesses that might be selling provisions to furnish a ship or to be carried back down the road, or indeed sometimes to be carried into the mountain. It's evening now. Things are closing, if not closed. It takes you a little while before you find a place with barrels of apples, bushels of wheat, sacks of grain, rice, preserved meats. But another dwarf with no beard, but a broad mustache,
Oh, a woman.
leans on the veranda, wearing a shopkeeper's apron.
Oh, it's saying dwarvish, like, evening, sir.
Aye.
Still open for business?
Well, looking to see if anyone else was setting off sail. Are you preparing for a voyage?
Well, we need to take a group of us that came out of the mountain downstream.
They're opening up the mountain again, are they?
Seems so. For some of us, anyway.
No.
We've got about 50 of us, and we've got to supply everyone. So there might be profit in it for you. Well, there will be profit in it for you.
It'd be worth that extra hour then, wouldn't it? Yeah. And she pulls out a notebook. You know,
Oh, it
a
is a woman.
folded pad of paper from the. I'm deciding she. Why not? From the
mustache.
starts kind of scratching things off. 50 odd, you said.
Whatever the number is, Jed.
Yep, sure. Yeah, absolutely. You'll have appetites in travelling far?
We're traveling a few days, but we're going to need time to set up when we're there. So basically, I'd like to buy pretty much everything you've got. Problem is, I don't think we're going to get the river craft to take us down there, so we may well need horse and cart to take the track alongside the river.
On hearing that, you are met with blinks. So, we'll do you some of everything. That's all right. Good mix of things. With fresh, with preserved, with dried, with oiled and pickled and that. Yeah, good mix of stuff.
Oh, the longer lasting, the better. Our problem is we don't have transport for it, and it will be several wagons worth. I wonder, would you know anyone in town with horse and carts that happen to for sale, or could be persuaded if the price is right?
Oh, aye. Well, there's always
And of
worth
course,
trying.
there's a finder's fee in it for yourself.
It would always be worth checking in at the rest. She means the bed and rest, the inn, with which
the
you are all
racist piece
familiar.
of shit in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. That was my next port of call.
They're decent stables there. That little fella, the halfling behind the bar. He knows what he's doing with animals.
Pretty sure we left a horse and cart there.
Yeah, I was just thinking that when Jeff.
We
Jed
did
said
have
it
one,
was-
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my next port of call.
Or else, I mean, a party that size, you'd want to speak to. Well,
Master Beck.
maybe, yeah. I'm sure he could arrange such things. Make sure it's roads clear and that. I mean, large parties and all, travelling, it's wartime and all, isn't it?
Oh, we can protect ourselves. Well, yeah, I'll check in with Master Beck. Don't you worry. Tell you what.
But you're sure you'd not be better off on ship? There's bound to be folks heading down river.
Yeah,
morning and that.
I'll check with them first, but, it might be difficult passengers.
Well,
Freed slaves.
freed. Oh.
Could be a little difficult.
You are met again with blinks, perhaps a stare.
Yeah. Some wrong uns up on that mountain.
I would normally recommend speaking to Paul Booth of... What is Paul Booth's ship's name? The Sunshine Cola. That's what it
Well,
is.
is he in port?
Aye, and he dropped off all his cargo with us, so he'll have an old free. I mean, if you've... you said slaves, then they'll be used to seeing
No.
old,
As in, oh, well, yeah, they'll be used to harsh conditions, but they might not be used to the freedom they now find themselves in. So their manner and their etiquette might not be up to dwarven standards. Let's just say that.
well, I'm afraid, sir, you're a little out of my field of expertise there. My field of knowledge, but Paul'd state you right, or else... Well, you can try knocking on doors of, ringing the bells outside the berths, like, see who's got room, but...
Well, I'm sure I'll find Paul in the Beggar's Rest, was it?
So the bed and rest is the pub on the edge of town?
And there was a more favoured one, though, wasn't there?
There is a rougher kind of sailor's pub, which is just called, the Dock on the waterfront, and that is where Tongi and Jethro are poring over casually while mingling over the necklaces, the collections of trophies which you find. These orcs, to come back to you fellas, these orcs, some of them have nothing around their necks. Some of them have blood on their hands and on their chins, but nothing. You see between them strands of beard, the odd, toe, large toes primarily.
Hairy dwarf ones.
Yeah, absolutely. Ears. Dwarf ears, or elf ears, orc ears. No teeth, however. Not a single one of these orcs whom you have freed chooses to wear teeth around their neck. They recognize it, however, in you. Both of you, between you now, are doing this. There is an easing around Tongi, especially with those of the orcs whom you had previously spoken to in the market, for example. Convinced.
Logot and his crew.
For example, yeah. They're happy to have you. They are beginning to ask questions then about the future that will lay ahead for them, about the world into which they're entering. They're asking about the light in the sky.
Your eyes will get used to it, lads. Breathe deeply. You
Yeah,
now
imagine these are all fucking blind.
I'll be right. You now have to learn
It's evening time.
how to build shelter. Because when water falls from the sky, you'll need shelter. But it will be a journey. But you'll be the richer at the end of it. When we find you home.
Yeah. And after a little bit, it is Lurgot who speaks, but perhaps you think maybe at the prompting of some of the other dwarves, other orcs. You said of this skylit land there was a king. What is that?
King?
It was the king who was freeing us.
Well, the king rules the land by virtue of being rich and old and powerful. We work for him, sort of, but working for him, well, helps us with our goals. But he didn't tell us to come here. We decided to come here. But yeah, the king is the man. Like the what was Highcliff's title?
King is like a leader.
What's Highcliff's title? Like the
Guildmeister.
Gelder.
like a Gelder, but more older, more powerful. But the king is far from here, and he himself, was it he the one that outlawed slavery, right? Rousselet.
One of the Rousselets did. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jed. I think that was said at some point.
Yeah.
Like that, because I did remember asking about slavery in the kingdom in general.
King makes the laws of the land up here, and he said slavery is bad, so that's why we came to. Well, one of the reasons we came to free you. Yeah.
Yes, Gav, to confirm, at least nominally. You understand there being a difference between, a formal ban and it being actually prevented, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's against the law, not necessarily enforced. But yeah, don't
as you
worry.
are finding, yeah.
Don't worry about the king.
But if King is the ruler, should we not? If we protect the king, King will protect our freedom.
You are free to decide that of your own selves. I chose to fight with the king, me and my
The
friends,
king,
because
the king
we
has
needed to
his own
stop.
protectors.
We need to stop evil that is falling on the world. The king has his protectors, has an army. You can decide what you wish to do.
Yeah.
If you want to work for the king, you can work for him by protecting others,
Keep the
like
peace.
town guard.
Keep the peace in his lands. There is great evil around. We have been fighting. If you are attacked by evil, defend your land, defend yourself. That is in the interest of the king and the country. This country is called Lurry, right? Lurich. The country is called Lurich. It's a big land. King rules it. You will be citizens of Lurich, free. But do as we do. Defend Lurich, and you are doing the king's work.
And looks around to the orcs around him, makes sure that they themselves are satisfied with the answer that they've been given.
May need to explain basic law.
Nah.
Basic hierarchy of medieval structure.
Do not rob your neighbor's sheep.
Well, yeah, I'll give him the cliff notes.
I wouldn't be at all surprised if slaves had their own basic rules, where it's like, if you rob something from me, I am
Oh, they
entitled to kill you.
Yeah.
Well, they have
So-
they have nothing, so stealing from someone is far worse than from regular people. Yeah.
Don't forget that we're going to be leaving them with the fucking kick-ass priest dude who can teach them all that shit.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that motherfucker. Oh
Yeah, but
And
we
for
also
correct
kind of
you.
want to instill into them maybe
We
some
get
of our
it.
values,
Mm.
opposed to the values of the kingdom that currently is, opposed to the kingdom.
yeah,
that we
that's
like.
what I'm trying to do.
So-
Yeah, I
As I say,
agree. Yeah.
You are free
Tongi would
people.
have. Tongi would have been explaining to them everything that Obadiah would have explained to him previously.
Yeah, that makes
There's
sense.
out of game. There's also the thing of at some point we did offer them the choice of where they want to go.
Yeah.
And we kind of settled on the fact that Ansel might be good for a season or two as a temporary adjustment, and then if they do want to return to wherever their ancestral lands are, we don't know that.
Yes,
That
they
they
are
could
free to
do
do
that.
so.
So if they
Yeah.
did want to go further west into the mountains, that's an option.
Yeah, I'll tell them because I know where I came from. It was, in the mountains to the west. So I say I came from over there. I know there are orcs out there. If you choose to go over there, you might find orcs. You might find your tribe. You never know. Might also find dwarves in the mountains.
You might also find death.
Yeah,
I'm not in there, but yeah.
but here, at least we know a place you could be at peace for a time. But yeah.
The ambience is punctuated by the lapping of water, the cracking and rustling and rummaging of boat parts, ships, ropes, gantry, planks, the screaming of gulls.
Boy.
And between you may notice that one or two of these orcs are beginning to shiver.
What's wrong, brothers?
They cold.
air is like, yes, cold is the word.
Well, what are they wearing? They're wearing like loincloths and shit, or
Nothing.
scraps.
They have trousers.
I will. You know what? You said it was evening. Is there still shops open?
So Obadiah has stumbled upon what might be the only shop that's still open now.
Okay.
Just start lighting fires, guys.
Oh yeah.
They're in the middle of the fucking street.
Okay. Yeah.
no,
that's
but
fair.
move out of town and light fires. It
Alright,
wasn't my intention to bring them into
let's
town.
head in the direction that Torok went. Come with us. We'll find a place to settle down and have a fire and sleep, rest, or whatever. And yeah, we'll walk. I guess we'll try and walk them out of town and then find a clearing or something. Wasn't Torok looking for a place that we could rest?
Yeah.
All
He
right.
was looking for a place to communicate with nature.
I was went to do communicate with nature
To find a place to rest.
Yeah.
You know, just walk around a forest till you find a clearing.
No, I was looking for the closest decent forest.
All right.
Saying it was like within a mile, sort of.
Well, if they'll follow us, then yeah, we'll head away from the town in the direction where Torok went, I guess.
Yeah.
Seem reasonable.
Absolutely. Tor, then, finding your meadow, hearing the river rushing past, seeing the road spill up so that it does not gain or lose too much ground in this hilly countryside. The ground is not muddy, drier perhaps than it should be this close to the river. It hasn't, this is known as a rainy country, but it's not cracking, it's not parched, but it's not as soft as you would expect. Grasshoppers ping from leaf to leaf. All manner of crawling beasties swarm around your ankles. Something buzzes near your ear, near your eye.
Jeez.
Something bounces up and down on your arm. You wonder if you will leave this field with as much blood as you entered it. But you find a place to sit in among the grass and spend a few minutes making yourself one with nature. Now, I believe, commune with nature, you ask three specific questions.
Yeah.
Do you have those prepared? Do you know what you would like to know?
I know 2, I guess, or 3.
Yeah.
I've got 3.
Yeah.
Closest forest.
Okay.
With water near it, preferably. And the third one.
Yep.
Those are, the third one would be if there's anything fucking influence from other planes of existence in the nearby vicinity as well, within 3 miles of my location.
Yeah. Not far south of the city. You would need to cross the river, but there is alpine forestry, pines, deer.
Perfect.
There is decent forestry. It's not quite mushroom season yet, but the woods will be wet, and if anywhere is going to rain, it will be there. You'll have to cross the river. You'll have to gain a little altitude, perhaps, to be comfortable. It will be marshy and boggy low down, but you're confident that there's a place like that.
Right.
Before you said that was your first question, you said your third was about planes of existence. Do you have a second question?
Just like because it was body of water is a terrain feature, and like trees would be actually a separate sort of thing, I think.
I tell you what, a body of water I will give to you for free, given that you are on the side of one of the major rivers coming through the country. You are within meters of that where you're sat.
prevalent
see if you're
plants and
asking.
animals. So if
Yep.
again, like
Yeah.
trees and animals would be two separate questions, I'd
Great,
assume.
cool. Yeah, in which case, yeah, you'll know a little bit about that. Now, is there any influence from other planes of existence? You reach your mind out, you look for the colour, the tint
You're
in
weak.
nature that is away from the regular green of the flora and the fauna, the sandy grey of civilized development. You look for other tints. What's the range on that again? Remind me.
3 miles.
3 miles.
But if
There-
something's underground, so if I was underground, it'd be
Yeah.
like 300 feet. So
Yeah,
it's,
it is. Yeah. There is a dusting in the air, like as though the wind has picked up a fine, I'm trying to think of other, a fine coating, a fine sheet of rock that has been ground down. If it rained, it would become paste, but here you have dust and it swirls and it swarms. If you are sniffing for influence of other planes, there's no particular spot that feels especially strong, but it carries in the air, certainly. It is in the wind. It is dancing across the water like... There have been times where Tor has taken on forms of creatures with stronger sense of smell, and this feeling of lingering presence that comes with that, the trail that you can follow, influence from other planes, that is strong, especially above the river, especially where it has been led back towards town. It isn't terribly strong, and you wonder then if whatever has caused it has just a taint, just a trace. Certainly you aren't expecting to find any extraplanar beings nearby, any portals or points of particular corruption or blessing. But it's there, and it's everywhere.
okay. So this place is rife with something.
Mm.
And on the way back to see the lads, I want to go over to that ship, the Evie's Pride, was it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And see
absolutely.
if there's anyone that's not infected to talk to.
Okay. Yeah.
Preferably.
There's one man there on the deck by the time you get to it. He's got, a fisherman's jumper on, kind of heavy knit, heavy leather boots. You'd probably imagine, from his tan, from his demeanor, that this guy's probably a dockhand rather than a sailor. But he is swabbing and mopping with a bucket full of suds.
Right.
Mm.
Well,
Oh,
you there,
yeah.
mate?
Wouldn't come on here, bud.
So, what's happened here? I seen him taking someone off just a minute ago. He isn't looking very well.
Lads got all come on sick. Said something, I don't know, must have breathed something bad in the woods.
Oh boy.
Well, in the woods, eh? Where? What woods? You know what woods?
Well, they've come up the river Beck, like, and
Yeah. Whereabouts did they take him to? What's the captain for this one?
well, they've took 'em to sick house. Keep one of them on, just 2 streets over. She's not as good as any real religious type, like, but knows her way around the herbs and that. Knows what to cut off when it's boiling and swollen and black, which dare say was some of these lads. But the captain, I can't say I've seen him, to be honest. I don't know if he was worse off than others. But I was late on it,
Right. Do you know if there's anyone that wasn't infected?
They've not told me either way, lad. I'm afraid.
Right.
Someone must be paying us. Someone.
Well,
It's normally
I
Captain's
wouldn't.
business to arrange.
If I was you, I wouldn't go on there then. If you can't get some magic healing or something, you don't know what infected these.
Well, I've got gloves, lad.
Yeah, but I was airborne. Gloves don't fucking stop everything.
No. Yeah, true. Well, evening air will sort us
Just
out. And,
Evening,
well,
I'd just stay away. We might be back in a minute to have a look.
he's on the deck. He is, brushing it and mopping it.
I would. You haven't been in the cabins or anything, have you? Or in the
No,
hold?
just on topside
I
stuff
would,
like that.
I'd stay well clear then. Finish what you're doing and
Finish what you
I'll
doing.
keep you. Yeah.
He kind of scoffs. I'm not soft, lad. Like it's simple work.
Well, you want to be shitting your eyeballs out?
I'm on late shift, we always get a reputation for being slack, but I'm not like some of these young lads. They sign on for late shift just so they can get pissed and get paid for it. Sleep off hangover.
Oh well.
that is so offensive to me.
Right, we well, we might be back in a minute to have a closer look at the thing, because we've got some people that are good with all that type of shit,
Aye.
diseases and that, and it could be something inside there.
No. Well, all right. Well, look, if I end up, tell you what, I'm going to carry on working, lads. But have a good one, all right? Take it easy.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a piss myself.
Right.
We'll come back and resolve a couple of things, and then maybe get the band back together.
Yeah.
No, I made a joke about Trump. I'm not allowed to come back.
Did you? Oh, I missed it.
No, I was just referencing Majesty.
Is your mic
Shit.
fucked?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but I didn't hear anything talk about Trump.
No. I might have been pissing, but pass.
Okay. Maybe it is fucked. I don't know. It changed to my webcam midway through.
Yeah,
for some
that's
reason.
why you started sounding like shit, I imagine.
Yeah.
He sounded far away.
Yeah. I think I nudged my Yeti and it fucking disconnected.
Yeah, technology shit.
It
Get your
is.
headset, plug it into your fucking computer.
Out of game, I
Don't
did
use
have
Wi-Fi.
is giants could pull wagons.
No, I saw that, Vic. I just...
We're not using them for manual labour.
Yeah, exactly. That's
So
what
you
I was going to
have
say to you.
You don't
But also,
have
a horse costs 25 gold pieces. We've got 10 grand.
and they can be dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
Double purpose.
DP.
I can ritual
Excellent.
cast,
It's not DP the horses.
locate
Well,
animals and plants as well, so we could potentially hunt the local fucking.
Well, I'm thinking we need a couple of deer a night
BRB.
So
to feed everyone.
for the 50, it was about £200 for the orcs because it's about £4 a day, and the giants was 120. It's £40.
Yeah,
a
but
day for
that's
the
if
giant.
that's like generic food.
Yeah.
If you're just eating meat, it'll be higher density
it'd be fucking
calories. It'd be less, basically. Like a kilo of meat a day, even for big boys, would be plenty.
Yeah, but no, this is D&D rules. Fucking
Oh, fuck that.
rates.
Let's
But
stop.
But yes,
stop
yeah.
looking into how much we need and just give Jed however much money he wants for the food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
coming up with realistic numbers.
There's a
Well,
great...
it's a waste of time for starters.
There was
Yes.
a great thing that was analysed in... there was a contract signed by a bunch of labourers back in the 1800s in Dublin. They were building a pier wall, and they had written into their contract that they were legally only allowed to be given smoked salmon 3 times a week, because smoked salmon was so common and cheap back in the 1800s
Yeah.
that
It
people
was
were sick
peasant
of
food.
getting. Yeah, exactly. So it was like, we're not eating this shit anymore.
Well, back in the
These-
day, lobsters were the same. It was like,
Were they? I didn't know.
yeah,
that.
in like coastal towns, they were just like cheap trash food, and then suddenly everyone
Fuck.
realized they were tasty.
And the French bought them all.
Bastards.
I think fucking. I heard during Brexit, fucking Scotland's maritime economy kind of fucking half collapsed because basically France used to buy all that shit.
Yeah.
And especially
it
around
wasn't just
Christmas time.
Scotland.
Oh, is it now? Okay.
No,
Cornwall
it's
as well.
Yeah, it was Cornwall, yeah.
Because there's a thing on, I think
Yeah,
there's
the
instead of
irony being that-
turkeys, it's
yeah.
seafood. So
Yeah.
like for Christmas in France, so like the people go crazy and they buy like really expensive lobsters and smoked salmon and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's,
Langoustine and things like that. Yeah.
yeah.
I
Scampi.
just realised I've got 10 days worth of rations on me.
I think
That's for
I had
one
it from
person.
the start of the
So
game,
you
but I
have
think I
one
just gave it
meal
away.
for 20 people.
Yeah.
From work posted a good meme along the lines of what we were just talking about. There you
Lobster related.
go. Brexit related.
Yeah, it works.
So Jed, the shopkeeper that I was chatting to before I leave her to go
Yep.
find Beck.
Yep.
Or Booth.
Yep.
I'd like to give her like whatever she's asking for, essentially,
Yeah.
to bring food for a meal for like 65 people out to where we're camping.
Okay. Yeah, and there's been, not for the first time, a kind of uncertainty that you're entirely clear, what you're asking for, as though she's hearing what she expects you to say rather than, what you actually said, if that makes sense.
No, I don't
Yeah.
quite follow, but
Yeah.
whatever. But I will haggle
yeah.
on this one.
Yeah.
But I will not. I will
Yeah.
leave the dangling carrot of we're about to buy big next time.
Yeah. Where you've said you'll like to buy everything she's got, she's heard a bit of everything.
Oh yes, I did hear you say that.
For example, and so not for the first time, she's trying to kind of fill in gaps where she's not fully understood what you're trying to tell her.
I'd like to make myself clear. When I say I want
Yeah,
to buy everything
every
you've
bacon.
got, I don't mean
Yeah.
I want to buy a lot of stuff. I mean I want to
Yeah,
buy
it's-
everything
it's
you've
the Ron
got.
Swanson of it. Yeah. But for this, it's just like I need you to feed 65 or 80 people for the night. Send out what you have,
Yeah.
and I will slap down what in Obadiah's head is a
Yeah.
reasonable amount, and it's like we can negotiate from there. And
Yeah,
it's like,
absolutely.
It's 25
Yeah.
gold, 30 gold. I don't know, whatever
Yeah,
it is.
25 for that many people seems reasonable. I think probably actually, if it's kind of dried provisions, you're expecting to cook it yourself, everything like that. You'd
Yeah.
be looking at a couple of silver each for food. If you're looking wholesale prices, if you're going 80 times 2 silver makes
160. That's
160 silver. That's 16 gold. It's really not
Okay.
an awful lot.
So I'll put down 25 gold and say,
Yeah.
bring this amount of food to this to outside of town, just on the west side, and we'll provision ourselves, we'll cook it ourselves, and we'll do all that shit.
Mhm.
And then I'll go seek out Booth or Beck.
Booth or Beck?
Well, essentially, what I'm going to do is head to the bed and rest and see who I find first. I don't care.
Yeah.
If he's the captain, I'm assuming he's not down at the dock, but he might be. So I'll go to the bed and rest first and see what the score is.
Sure. Yeah. the young woman, the dwarf woman at the general store, for that's simply all that the sign outside says. Writes down a few things, scratches some things onto her paper, and says, "Oh well, yeah, best be. Well, I was going to be closing up anyway. A little extra work makes it worth me while. Glad to have it."
And we'll be back in the morning to see about those carts if we can't get any luck from Boot.
Well, and all.
If that old halfling from the rest hasn't sold our own cart, we'll might not need as many as we sought, but I suppose we might end up buying our own cart back. Who knows? We didn't think we need it again. What's your name, miss?
Oh,
Go ahead.
locals call us Grizzly, but well, for you, Griselda, sir.
Well, Griselda, I'm Obadiah. Pleasure to meet you.
Compliment her mustache.
No. I'm not hitting on her. You never compliment a woman's mustache. It's dwarven etiquette.
Obadiah, then you're not walking in the direction of the dock. You're walking in the direction of the town centre and ultimately the bed and rest. Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah.
This being at the hour of the night and seeing the labour on the docks kind of diminished.
Yeah.
I'm going to head for where I think the captain will be, and I need to hit up Beck anyway. So
yeah, absolutely. The evening light is creeping down. The conversation there, took a little longer. No matter how clear you tried to be, this is a woman who's, not one of the dwarves from under the mountain. She thinks that she's dealing with a human and therefore has to talk in half-truths and euphemisms.
we're a bit like that.
And you find yourself picking what you think to be the most direct route. Bedenreach isn't a town you know especially well, but you do know your way to the town centre, and from there you can find your way out to the edge of it. You are coming up towards the cable car terminus. The centre, the kind of dock of it, sits empty. The car has not been let down again since you yourselves ascended some hours before. Beck's house, the city office, lights large. The top floor is lit. Top floor 3, you can ascertain. And then, just inside the front door, another light, probably just a candle, flickers out from the glass lantern. But what catches your eye as you look around and take your bearings is not what is happening at street level, but rather up the mountain.
Oh.
A booming, laughing voice carries an awfully long way.
Yeah, I would just be laughing as well. I hope you realise.
Gronon, are you doing anything other than laughing as you descend?
Well, obviously, just going to put it in there that I'm going to not kill myself.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use my boots to land for this end.
I was hoping
Jed just lets me die.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping this would be a practically God's moment.
Wouldn't it be great?
Second character in a row kills himself. Yeah, that'd be fucking good.
Yeah,
splat.
Yeah, no, that's basically it, Jed. I'm just flying down at speed until I think I'm close enough and landing, because I've practiced this once, jumping off of the lift.
Yep.
So I'm just seeing what I can do with it.
Controlling your descent.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Falling with style.
Yeah. There aren't many people around as you descend. The town is it's midweek. The town is falling into a sleepy summer's eve. The air is still. The clouds are light, glowing purple now, but the sky is tinged, turning dark. Obadiah, are you making yourself visible to your party member?
Oh, he's jumping towards the center of town.
He's,
Yeah,
I've
I'm not
just
hiding.
jumped.
Like,
I've
Unless
just
you've any
jumped
other
off a
plans,
fucking
so-
cliff. That's all it is. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
fear no one.
Wherever I would land, Jed. Imagine I free fall most of the
absolutely.
distance.
Yeah. I think keeping clear of the cliff face, making your way down, it makes sense for you to follow the lead of the cable car.
Perfect.
You know, that's a kind of predestined, safe route out and away.
Sounds
And it gets you back to,
wunderbar.
again, a part of the town that you would know your way around, from which you could navigate. You don't know where your friends necessarily are going to be, whether they will have stayed there on the dock as you've been promised.
What? We
And
didn't
as-
promise shit.
Exactly. Or as you might assume, yes, no promises have been made as to where
Ron
you
would have
will
said,
met me.
"I'll see you later" when he left us. So
Yeah.
Well, we're all capable. We can find ourselves.
Yeah.
You know. And I will. I'll see you in like 2 minutes.
But Obadiah, you see Gronon descend. And it is, for a moment, you know, unnerving. You don't know how much his boots can take, how long they will last, how reliable these things are.
Yeah, not very.
But he holds himself, breaks himself, spreads his arms to balance, and comes to a slightly quicker than running halt on the flagstones of the city square, of the town square.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah?
Yeah, why not?
Conan, you don't stumble as such, but the first few steps on the ground slap hard against your feet. They hurt your knees through your boots, just a little ache, a taste of what will come as you age. And you find your friend, your travelling companion, alone in the night that is to come.
Okay. Once I catch my breath, I'll be like, fuck it, you gotta try that.
No. Traveling with Tor at that time was terrifying. I'd rather have large distance teleportation. Yeah, under my control. It's weird. What if those boots, like, their magic fades? They're... No.
But you know, they've. I think they have a timer. I haven't found the end of it yet, but whatever.
Exactly.
I don't
How
care.
big a mountain do you have to jump off before they just stop? Anyway.
I'll cross that bridge when I get there.
Yeah, I'd learned the spell Featherfall.
Nerd.
Be
I'm
fine.
very
It'll be fine.
concerned about my own life.
The door of the large house, the royal office, clicks.
Mm-mm.
And there on the step, in the piebald black and white uniform of the crown servant, Order of the Hand, stands the young woman you met before. Her name, you recall, is Lauren.
I'm going to be like slightly, still very excited and, you know, talking loudly because my ears have been popping or whatever.
Yeah.
She's from the Beck household? Is that Lauren?
She's coming out of the back office. She's holding a candle inside a kind of glass
I'll be black.
bell.
Was
I'm
that an
gonna-
elven woman?
Human.
Human, okay.
I'm going to choose to ignore this woman as if I haven't seen her. Tabby Black, where are we?
Gronon hasn't met her before anyway, I don't think.
Yeah.
We're in reach.
Oh, no. I
What?
mean, this. What's this house? Oh, look, there's a.
Yes,
There's a woman
this
there.
is Lord. This is, I'll correct myself. This is Master Beck's house. And over there is the bed and rest. I was going to go see if I could seek out a Captain Booth in order to purchase his. What's the word? I suppose.
Transportation services.
Very good. To get our friends downriver. Anyway.
Understood. Right. Okay. Brilliant. Shall we?
Lauren sees you. Certainly, you've no doubt that she sees you. But she lowers her head and scurries around a corner, away from the square.
Cool.
What's that about?
Don't know. Well, it's either the pilot of this vessel or it's Beck we have to speak to in order to get our friends fed and transported. I'm thinking Beck would appreciate the cut into the transaction. So maybe we go speak to him first. It could, however, be dangerous.
What does Gromlin know about Beck?
You know his kind of official role as he is like the liaison between the Crown in Hyluri and Mazenol. He's the kind of go-between.
I don't think I've spoken to
So,
him.
so David Beck.
Yes, so David Beck is
the
David
son
Beck
of. Yeah, I'll explain it to him in character.
Yeah, please, yeah.
No, it's in.
In terms of what Gronon knows, that's basically it. He's the de facto mayor of Bednreach in so much as there is somebody. He's not officially in control of the docks, but has the power to shut it down and therefore, to control traffic up and down the river. And he relays things between the storehouse and the palace in Hyluri. And so, yeah, all of that, he is the kind of crown liaison.
You would have us. Gromlin definitely knows all of this. This is not me asking.
Yeah, that's Gronon knows that.
Yes, and you would have us do a deal with a man who has overseen slavery, or turned a blind eye, shall I say?
I'm not sure about how much he knew, and it's a smaller problem that can be dealt with later. But removing the problem, I think, might be more trouble than it's worth.
Problem being Beck himself, you mean?
Well, I'm not saying anything about his parent.
Henrik.
But yes. Like
Gronon does
we wipe
not
out,
know about, yeah.
We wipe out the whole fucking Beck clan, and we wipe out the whole fucking the clan from down south. It's like, yeah, shit's kind of, we're just removing bloodlines and then undermining the king. So, no, I'm not.
Speak for yourself. You're undermining the king.
Hey, I haven't started yet.
I'm getting there slowly. Right, cool. No worries. I'll say no more. It's fine. I understand if this gets us closer to our goal of
basically
whatever.
We need to move these folk quickly and with the least problems. And if that involves giving a couple of 100 gold to the wrong man, it's an evil I'm willing to deal with.
Fine. The faster we're back on the path of the demons, the better.
I think this is the way we will be. I might be wrong, but trust me, Gromlin, I'm incredibly intelligent.
So what would you like to do next?
Let's go over and knock on David Beck's door.
Okay. Are you talking a kind of rat-a-tat-tat, or are you giving it the boot?
No, a rat-a-tat-tat. A
Yeah.
polite, we're here for conversation and negotiation.
You're not going to follow that very suspicious girl?
No, she's only a servant.
She doesn't. She means nothing to Obadiah. Doesn't even see her as a person.
Tongi's lucky then.
Who touched my dice? God damn it, Jed. They were lucky until you touched them. Then they rolled a 2.
That's
Now it's 3.
why my dice keep rolling low, because Jed always uses them.
Yeah. That's it.
Stop using my dice, Jed.
Okay, it's your own filthy color.
It doesn't take long, or you don't wait for too long, but you can be pretty sure that there's no answer at the door. There's no light down on the lower floors, and of the 3, only the very top floor is lit. A lantern is beaming through the curtains on one room.
I'll give it a proper hammer. Shout, Beck, we need to speak.
It's after the cut-off.
The light upstairs shuffles, shadows against the curtains upstairs move.
I'll walk back out so he can see me.
And after a moment, you see light spilling down the stairs indoors. The lantern above the door lights up. You're going to stand back from the house?
Just a couple of steps so he could have seen me from the 3rd floor.
Yeah, absolutely. And the door cracks and opens. Beck is stood in his black clothes. He wears... What is he wearing? He's wearing smart black, similar to what might be worn at court, but velvety in places, enamelled in places. The bearer of bad news returns to my door. Glad to see you made it out of the city. Oh, Kingsward.
I have some business we need to take care of. We have a number of refugees that need transporting down to Ansel. I thought you may be able to help.
Well, that does sound within the order of my station, does it not? And he rubs his brow briefly. However, I'm closed for the night. My girl has gone home.
Yeah, I saw her scurrying off.
Yeah. So you find me then alone. And you have me at a disadvantage. And he gestures towards your dwarven friend.
What, you're not capable of conducting a deal by yourself?
No, he means he doesn't know.
Oh, I didn't pick that up.
You have me at a disadvantage means I don't know you in poshcon talk.
Although
This here is Gromnon. We've come from the Dwarven City after fleeing a number of slaves that the king and his golden voices have been keeping illegally. We freed them, a portion of them, and we seek to return them to Ansel for a season or 2 to help bolster the community down there and to defend it if necessary. We need ships and we need food for as long as you can spare. We're willing to pay. And we would very much appreciate your help if that was within your power to grant us.
Bronon and Obadiah can both make insight checks. I'm going to make that mildly contested.
Yes, I would also like to boost myself.
Boom!
Oh.
Never touch my dice again.
Yeah.
23.
13. Bronon, you're going to introduce yourself, is that right?
Yeah. Wait, no, Obadiah just introduced me, so I'm going to...
As Gronon from the city.
Yes, and I will screw my face up a little bit. As Obadiah calls me that.
Yeah.
I will courteously bow before him and say, in a very stupid way, and say, Gromlon's the chosen, breaker of the chains, freer of the slaves, killer of the demon. And I'll offer him a hand.
He extends a hand to shake yours. Beck is slight, but you can tell from the handshake and your insight check there that, stronger than his frame would suggest. There's a kind of straightforwardness and a precision by which he places his fingers around yours. He is used to shaking dwarven hands, if nothing else. And there's a weight to his arm, maybe more than you'd expect. Obadiah. He shoots you a look after shaking Gronon's hand, after saying, pleasure to meet you, sir. I am very pleased to hear of anyone coming out from under the mountain. I've had no contact with the storehouse in days. Almost none since I saw you last, Mr. Black. He shoots you a look.
Close the city.
He shoots you a look as he's looking over towards you. There's a couple of things. You rolled quite well on your insight check. First of all, the things that you suggested, you could see his well-trained face giving away tics, giving away looks. With each little detail you gave out, it was almost as if you had concocted a speech to piss him personally off. And you're well aware of this. You're smart enough to realise that, it's likely that he was aware, or if not involved in the trafficking in labourers, given what was going on with his family.
Yeah, that's correct.
Ansil was family land he is due to inherit.
Oh, yeah.
And it's as though this is a situation that you've kind of put together a plan, deliberately concocted to say, hey, David Beck, fuck you.
Well,
digging
yeah.
the knife in deeper into his ribs.
It's hey, David Beck, react.
Yeah.
That's all I need you to do, baby.
And he is certainly acting that way. The reactions are subtle. They are careful. They are those of a man trained in court. And then when Gronon comes and shakes his hand, there is a new expression. The eyebrows come up. And what you read here is more plain-faced. It is over Gronon's shoulder now as he looks towards you, because it changes from an attempt at an earnest, welcoming smile to a, really? This fucking guy? Obadiah, you can be confident he knows exactly who Gronon is. Or at least has been claiming to be. The past few months. The past... He's heard the reports from the city. What he doesn't know is any more than Gronon is a nuisance, a rabble-rouser. And you're walking with this fucking guy?
Alien's over and done with, son.
But
I'll have to drop into the conversation that, we thought it was best for longevity and peace in the kingdom that the king's orders, I think it was Rosalie II, that stated that slavery was, if not a legal crime, at least a moral crime.
Indeed, and the king's will should be carried out. I'm very glad you've come to me. would be happy to furnish your plan.
Right, well, there's about 70 of us. We expect we would require vessel downstream tomorrow, along with enough food to feed us all for a couple of days at least, if not more. A week would be better. And we can, of course, pay, or we can negotiate something with the kingdom or the bursar. Can you make that happen? Or would you need your woman servant to help you do that?
I think I can arrange a few things there. This sounds truly like the work of the Crown Office, and that is indeed my station. I am glad that you came to me tonight, Mr. Black. I'm glad to hear all of this here from you. Why don't we meet near the lower gate, say, half an hour after dawn? Do you have lodgings for the night?
No, we'll be staying with the orcs and the giants west of the city. I keep getting those two mixed up.
Giants indeed. Oh, very well. You've a spot in mind. Oh, all right. Will there be anything else tonight, or am I free to return to...
Oh, obviously. This was the only interruption. Yeah, you're free. I don't want to say you're free to go. Thank you for giving us so much of your valuable time.
King's Ward releases you to...
A pleasure, sir. And he closes the door. The light in the hallway snuffs out.
Yeah, can I ask a question?
Yes.
I might be wrong here, but does this guy have fingers missing?
Well, you're looking for
an extra
four
Are you,
killed your father?
I'm alluding to the thing with Jethro. I want to basically want to shake his hand. Do I notice anything weird with his hand?
So has Jethro mentioned this to Gronon? I know he's mentioned some of the party.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking. It's an interesting thing, isn't
so.
it?
Yeah. Will you notice? I think is what you said.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think what to ask you. Give me a perception check as you shake his hand, Gronon.
It's a strange thing for a man of station to be missing fingers or whatever, isn't it?
Yeah.
12.
12 total. As I said, so yeah, you did, a little better on the insight check. He's got a good kind of bit of weight behind his hand. His hand feels well placed. And you're thinking about that. You're looking at the expression on his face, how earnest and surprised he feels to see you, and what he's putting over there. And then he looks past your shoulder. He speaks more directly to Obadiah. It feels a little rude, perhaps, for him to speak much more to Obadiah than it has done to you. But you don't notice anything unhealthy about his hands, I'm afraid.
Okay, cool. No problem.
Yeah.
It's all right. I still want to murder him. He's a prick.
Okay. So, what is the plan for the evening? Tongi and Jethro, you have remained on the docks with the gaggle of the orcs. You have given them wine.
Yeah. Well, we were headed to find fucking Tongi for Tor and see if we could find a nice spot to camp out for the night with a fire.
Absolutely. And you find Tor walking back your way. It looks as though he's walking off the plank that has led onto one of the boats in the dock. But he steps down from there. And Tor, you realise that the group are making their way towards you. The shadows are twisting the light a little bit. It's harder to see what's going on now, but you can make people out. Jethro is close before you recognise him. But there aren't many groups this size now walking up the dockland.
Right. Well, I'll explain to Jethro and Tongi where the roughly where the pitch would be, where we'd be going to
There is forestry kind of a little way south of the. You'd have to cross the river and head south a little bit, maybe uphill a little bit.
I'll walk them in sight of it, and then I'm gonna explain that there's something dodgy happened on a boat, and I want to go check out.
Yeah.
There's a disease or something. I'm not too sure.
I
Come out
have
of a local forest, I was told.
a simple question in terms of getting towards the campsite.
Yep.
How are you going to get across the river? You are on the north side of it.
How deep is it and how wide?
So this is you are at effectively a kind of artificial dock. It's kind of double ship wide canal. Let's say if the ship is 20 foot across, this will be 50 foot across. This kind of dry dock, and deep enough for things to sail up and down that are. They're river-going vessels primarily, but capable of some open water travel as well.
Is there there's no countryside on this side of the river? Just like the base of the mountain or something?
So specifically what Tor asked for was the nearest forestry.
Right.
Yeah, we don't necessarily need forestry.
We just need an open space that isn't in the town to sleep.
Like I've got food delivered to us tonight, hopefully. Forestry's best, but I mean,
based on the map,
forest good because you can
all
make fire.
blank.
But I can fucking
we can buy firewood. We can.
Is there a tree?
It's just getting 80 people or whatever, 70 people across the river.
Wild shape, fly up, look for a flat bit of land about, I don't know, half a mile outside of town on this side of the river.
Yep.
And then fucking land and point them in that direction.
Absolutely. And that doesn't take long at all. I'm not even going to ask for a roll. This doesn't take long at all. And actually what comes back to mind with you, if you were to follow the dock along until it becomes dirt track, until it becomes, the track begins to follow and twist away from the river a little bit. The river is, the banks of the riverside become a little sharper. You find yourself in meadow and grassland, long grass that is not quite kept by farmers but might be used to feed goats or sheep, especially later in the year, late summer. You think that'd make a nice spot. There's there's lots of insects, but beyond that, the ground is flat enough. It's drier than it normally would be that close to the river. And you've certainly got an easy water supply. Indeed, perhaps that's the very spot where you sat down maybe 40 minutes before, 20 minutes before. That'd be an alright camp spot, at least for a night.
Alright. I'll point the land, change back to normal.
Yep.
And fucking point the guys in that direction. Then I want to make my way over to that sick house.
Sick.
Okay. You're going to explain to the gang that, there are people coming off the ship that are ill.
Yeah. I'll explain what I've seen, spoke to matey, and I want to go and find out why this, what happened, where this came from.
Yeah.
Could I accompany you?
Are you back with the group yet?
I don't know. I thought you were explaining that to the group. Hence,
We just all RV. Or whatever.
I'm happy for Gronon and Obadiah to make their way back to find the party on the docks.
Well, I had to fly up and check anyway. For
yes, exactly. Well,
maybe.
yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, if you're back, I'd have explained it to you as well. And yes,
Yeah.
you would be very much welcome to come.
Thank you.
I'm
gonna
Yeah.
light beer, light fires, warm up the bloody guys, and fucking set them to chill. Point out the
I may be
stars.
able to help with people who are sick.
Oh, all right. I'll look after these fellas.
You and Gromnom can
Yeah.
take the guys to the camp.
Yeah.
Gromnom can make fires. Can't you, Gromnom?
Yeah. Probably. What?
Fires.
We all
Yeah,
can.
can you make fire?
Can everyone make fire?
Yes, we
Also
can. We can
sarcastically
just make
with my
fire.
hands out.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah.
It's like if you got a tinder box, I
Flint
suppose,
and
but we all
steel,
have tinder
yeah.
boxes.
We all have that. We can all make fire. It's fine.
I don't
Yeah.
think the orcs could very easily.
I'm gonna go and get a drink, and I'm just gonna walk off, and I'm gonna say that.
Right, well, me and the orcs go to the spot and sit down and fucking light fire.
Yep, absolutely. As you are peeling off the dock, as you're beginning to separate, a young, she's not particularly young, but a dwarf with no beard and a mustache, has a donkey on a cart, stacked with barrels and boxes. She goes, it's open, I might find you. Where do you want this?
Oh, hello, love.
You'll recognise Obadiah before you peel off back towards the
Okay.
house.
I'll point him towards Jethro then. I'll point her towards Jethro.
Oh,
We're gonna feed these guys here.
we're feeding. Oh,
Yes, we are, and we're doing it with a smile.
we're safe. All right, we're smiling. All right.
We're King's Guard.
These
Guarantee your safety.
These are free and happy people, and very friendly, I might add.
All right. Well, fine. Okay.
Well,
Just drop it off and leave.
we'll bring the cart back in the morning. How's that? I'll give her 20 gold as a tip.
That was more than what we paid.
That was the same as what you pay for the food.
I didn't pay.
I think I paid 25 for the. I did. I paid 25 for all the stuff.
Yep.
So
I'm
yes,
giving her
exactly.
20 gold as a tip, and I'll say we're bringing
Jethro
the cart
does
back.
not understand money.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Her eyes come open. She blinks a couple of times, seeing the money. Yeah. Let me bring me a donkey back, I guess.
Well, I'll pull the cart. Yeah, be right. Thanks, love. You have a good evening, young lady. I'll bow to her.
Fucking hell, yeah. I'll have to stay open an extra hour more often, I guess. Fucking hell.
Yeah,
She's-
you've got 3 giants. Well, 2 of them could carry the cart,
It's pick it up under their arm.
Yeah.
basically.
The gaggle, the throng, the bushel, the caravan of supplies does include firewood, bundled in places.
Oh, lovely.
Does it include booze?
It does indeed.
Right. Well, then maybe when the car arrives, I'll turn around.
I'll get the vodka out and pass it to Gronon. There you go,
There is,
chum.
yeah,
Good job
some
up there.
vodka.
Good job up
Some
there. How'd it go with the fucking big boss?
He is no more.
What, you killed him?
No,
Oh.
no, Jeffrey. No, he's stood down.
Oh. Well,
Everything is as asked upon them. And now I leave. What was I calling Mr. Powders again? I know he was Master of Darkness, but what was his other title?
Master of Puppets.
I can't remember what it was.
Stop.
The Forsworn, that was it.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
Forsworn.
Forsworn
like in
Powders is in charge. He will lead the flock now.
Sounds good. Well, all's well that ends well, I guess.
Yeah, Jeffrey would actually probably believe that, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he's solved the city's problems as far as I care.
Yeah. Cool. Sweet.
Jeffrey's
Yes.
like hungry. They care more about the orcs right now than anything else.
Now I must find the next people that need help. After these.
Yeah.
Your brothers, of course.
Yeah. Cool. I think like the country needs help. I don't know if we covered that with you, but yeah. Big meteorite. Zombies.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yes, I remember.
Okay.
Mr. Black and I have conversed deeply on the topic.
Oh, good. Okay,
I think-
So, yeah, the people of the world need your help.
These demons and devils, they are my sworn enemy too,
Yeah, pass that
and
back.
that of my church.
Pass that back, and I'll have a sip of the poker as well.
Yep. Good. And I'm going to start singing. Just
Bloody
like dwarven songs, because I'm drunk. Here's a performance roll.
Some fun dwarf songs.
14, so it's just not particularly great.
You can certainly remember the words.
I'll pick up
Yeah.
pick up on the chorus, although I don't know the song. I'll just kind of join in on the chorus.
Yeah. And it isn't until Jethro starts singing that the orcs are looking at you with anything other than terror.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Sorry. He was singing a song. Do you know any songs?
To have chanting and kind of rhythmic vocals in Dwarvish, you understand these guys have been conditioned in a certain way.
Ah, right. Okay. Less of that. Do you know the words in common?
I don't know. Do I know a common song?
You will know.
Start singing. I am a dwarf and I'm
common
digging a
language.
hole. Diggy hole.
Yeah.
Diggy hole.
Yeah.
As I came home on Monday night, as drunk could be, I saw a horse. That one, yeah. You'll
Sure.
know that, I'm sure.
Slightly familiar with it.
Yeah.
You racist prick, Jed.
It's a drinking song. We don't have any good ones of those of our own.
What's that? What is it about? It's about killing the Irish or something.
No, it's an Irish song, probably
okay.
about killing the English.
Yeah, sounds great.
No, it's about getting drunk, arriving home, and
What a
finding
surprise.
something else in your wife's bed.
There's a horse outside your door where your own horse should be. There's a coat behind the door. Someone else's
There's a lump
pipe.
beside the bed where my old lump should be.
Sounds great. But yeah. Well, what can I sing? I'll start singing about crumping people or something.
I imagine orcs
In
do
Orcish.
like Mongolian throat singing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the Who's.
I'll have another
Guitar.
swig and I'll just be like, my name is Jethro. I like to punch fellas and beat them in the face and kick them down the stairs. Just in Orcish, just sort of
Fine.
making up a silly drinking song.
Yeah.
Yes,
And after a little bit, another orc joins in. Says, "My name is Lagart.
Yeah.
I drink whatever this is.
Oh
I
my-
like to be outside, and I like taking fucking ears."
Yeah.
We definitely got to put Lurgot in charge of this entire group. We have to.
Yeah.
And he
And we'll cook up a meal.
Brilliant.
And, feed everybody.
Yeah, just celebrate the freedom. Let's do that.
Yeah.
And I'll point at the stars and I'll point out some constellations that I've made up.
I'll do stupid shit like use thaumaturgy to bash people's windows.
We're away from the town now.
I'll be like, "Wait, you boys, right? Have a look at this. Come around here."
Yeah, you're not near the town anymore.
We're deliberately not near the town.
You could make little harmless earthquakes.
Fine. I'll make the trees shake or something. Or just like really piss. Like, look at this. I'll make the trees move around.
Yeah, the absolute shit out of a goat.
Yeah.
Exactly. Beautiful. Basically, let's have some bonding with the orcs and Jethro.
Yeah.
The other three of you are going to the Bed and Reach sick house.
I believe so.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. You've been given directions by the dock hand who's working on the Ivy's Pride. And, find yourself a couple of streets over and you'll recognise the sign, the white rod with the red wrapped around it. The lights are spilling out through glass in the windows. And the sound of coughing spilling out through the door. sticking your head in through the door. The door is wedged open. The night is warm enough. You see bed after bed after bed. There are 2 women, one a halfling, the other human. They both are dressed in kind of tan-coloured cloaks and smocks, feeding hot liquid to a couple of sailors. There are 1 or 2 others. A dwarf who is slurring drunkenly, chained to one of the beds,
Ooh.
but insisting that he is let out. So, I'm not sick. Why am I here? Oh, it's a slop of bollocks.
Slop
He has.
What?
It's a slop of bollocks, is what he says.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah,
Write that in my
absolutely.
notes.
There is a bucket which is clearly full of vomit next to him on the bed. Sickhouse isn't terribly busy, but the young women in the tan uniforms both look your way gently, and one after the other both say, "Oh, we'll be with you. We'll be with you momentarily."
I mean, for a moment, not
Is
in
one
a
of you
moment.
hurt? Yeah,
They don't know that.
No.
and that's what they say. Yeah.
We're no hurt. We've come to see if we can help with whatever's gone on with that boat.
Oh, I should have gone. I'm immune to disease.
Any information? The about the boat, where it's been, where it came from, where the disease came from.
What's that? Oh, yeah, no, do stay off. We don't want you catching sickness.
Should be pretty fine. We're pretty adept at dealing with bad things.
Oh, are you
Tor here is a healer. And I'll gesture towards Torque.
And aren't you a doctor as well, Oba?
Oh. My name's
No.
Obadiah Black, ladies. And while I am a doctor, I study anatomy and the physical makeup of the body. I don't deal with diseases specifically. So.
Oh, no, oh, very well. I mean, we're simply, applying a poultice, a mustard, and a salve. They've, this one's suffering terribly. One of the sailors is sat upright. The other, the one that you saw being stretchered off, you only saw his arm, but he is clearly much worse. The black spore-like growth spreading across his chest. His breathing is laboured. There is a croak to him.
So, Jed, can I ask a question here? So, I know there's a spell, I think it's cure illness, cure disease, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So, if I was, as I say, a cleric or whatever, if I was
Yep.
to heal somebody up to full hit points,
Yep.
that wouldn't necessarily cure their illness.
The disease is a condition. In and of
Okay, so
itself,
you
as-
have to
as
remove a
poison is a
condition
so
opposed
it's-
to a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of talking mechanic, so
So I can't do anything about that with my current knowledge. I'm pretty sure I don't have restoration or anything like that.
You don't have
So-
lesser restoration would do it, certainly, but
Cool. Okay, just wanted to clarify that. So I'll probably, me being me, be holding a handkerchief to my, face.
absolutely.
As in, I'm somewhat aware of whatever level of medicine we have in this era.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, Tor, Tongi, can you do anything for these folks? This-
Not
Well-
right this minute, but I could do.
I may be able to, but first, out of character, I need to ask Jed. I need to ask you
Yep.
something real quick.
Yep.
When we leveled up,
Yep.
I didn't realize until now, when we leveled up, I got access to 2 more prepared spell slots.
Great. Okay.
Can I
Retcon
prepare
that
spells
shit,
now?
baby.
Yeah,
Retcon
baby.
away.
It's not even cure disease. It's I want to prepare detect poison and disease. to
Yeah.
find out what they've got, and then lesser restoration.
Those are the two I would have
The double whammy.
activated the next day.
I gotta
I may not be
respect
able
that.
to cast lesser restoration now,
Or-
but I can prepare it now for later.
Before he
I-
casts anything,
yeah.
I want to look at the spores that you mentioned.
I just want to see what they've got
Or
because
the
we may not
fungal
even need a spell to cure them.
I will give you guys choices. I can either get 2 of you to make medicine checks, or one
So
of
what-
you to make a medicine check with advantage.
So I've got medicine +7.
To the advantage.
I got +9.
I'll help Tongi.
To
Yep.
advantage on medicine,
Advantage
definitely.
on this, yeah?
Makes way more sense.
Yeah.
Advantage
it's
is, I think,
better
a
odds.
50% chance. I remember watching a mathematics video about it.
No.
All right, so that's 20.
Shit
So,
up you.
Jamie, with regard to your spell preparations, I'll answer that first, and then we'll come through to this. I will trust you as a player to make a kind of good faith choice on that. If you
Oh, that's harsh.
Yeah.
That's like,
Yeah.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
What I don't like is the idea of setting a precedent that says, hey, yeah, sure, don't prep all your spells and we can just fix it mid-session when you need things. So
But
I
this,
want
this is why
yeah.
I was like, I didn't realize I had these until now. I'm like, it takes a
Yeah.
piss, but I want to ask just in case.
Yeah.
But I won't. I'll leave it. I'll leave it.
If you feel it's taking the piss, I'll agree.
Yeah, I'll leave it.
Yeah.
We can
Just
come
prep them
back
tomorrow.
to it
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll just prepare them all after the long rest. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's when I can do all my spells. So
That sounds fair to me.
I just
A
didn't
lady,
realize it went from 15 to 17 after we leveled up.
ladies, has anyone died from this yet either? Anyone dead?
So we'll wrap the whole conversation around it in with that medicine check. How's about that? So go up and ask your questions. You can speak to one of the sailors is awake. The one that was stumbling on the gangplank is also in a bed, but he is awake. His eyes are still looking bloodshot. He has a kind of bleariness to him. But his breath also seems slow and like he's having to focus on it, but it's not crackling, and the rot hasn't spread across him in the same sort of way that you can see. If that's the first question, they nod. I believe so. There were a couple of bodies. They may well still be on the boat, including.
There was a bloke cleaning it up when before I left there. I told him
Oh.
not to go in under the decks or inside
was
the
him,
cabins.
wasn't it?
Hopefully he left it alone.
Yes,
But,
that's that's standard prep. It happens from time to time. We have people.
You don't know what the hell this is. If he goes inside there, gets infected, then walks it around the town. Ooh, that's not going to be a. It looks like you've got a hard enough time here with just this lot. Let
Indeed.
alone
Well,
an entire town full of sick people.
well, of course, and it's standard for if any further injured people or indeed the occasional body is discovered on the ship by one of the dockhands. Standard practices to fetch us or
Occasional
management.
body, but not an entire ship's worth. It's going to be careful. But enough of that.
The sick man speaks up and says, "Weren't many of us made it up the river."
Where did this come by? No. Where did this malaise come to you from?
He coughs a little bit, and it's here now that you see his hand comes up to his mouth, but there is a kind of black speckled to his breath. The trees came alive. The dirt kicked into the air. The trees
come alive. Okay.
the forest grabbed him, and we kept him on the deck, but some of the others.
You on a boat as the trees came alive.
Yeah. We'd stopped for firewood, you know.
Ah,
Stopped the camp, stepped out to make firewood. We were going to sleep on the boat, but well, anyone that was on the shore, by the flow of the river, they're still there. If they're lucky, they're still there.
well, this doesn't sound good. This sounds like I think I might know what it might not necessarily what it might be, but what might cause it to a degree.
All the animals for days before that were sick. They were slow. They were river flow. Oh, I'm gonna end up like them. Just
No, you won't.
boiled behind the eyes, you know,
If you
bulging and twisted and rotten.
Where was this around Ansel?
No, further down than that.
Oh,
between the
God.
forest between Ansel and Hylary area,
Yeah.
was it Everton?
Evie Wood. We haven't. Evieton's gonna be fucked. If the whole wood's
Is it
like
on the
this.
north side? Is it?
Well, we were on
Right.
the beck, so they've sailed up the beck to get here.
Okay. Yeah,
So
but I
they
didn't
were
know
in
where
the
they come
southern
from.
area of the Evie Wood.
Okay.
Now,
Right.
with the rest of that medicine check, you can see what's set into this guy's skin, especially, is certainly a kind of necrosis. It's like meat that's been left out in the sun. It has got that kind of greeny, purpley texture. It is as though it has died and is ready to fall apart. You feel like if you were to poke this guy's arm too hard, it would simply bleed just from a poke of a finger.
Looks like the effect that the spell Obadiah likes to use all the time.
This is the
I
thing.
don't
Now,
like to use it. I just have to
Yeah.
use it sometimes.
some of you are quite familiar with necrotic damage. Some of you are quite familiar with the lasting effects of necrotic damage and how severe it can be. This might not be a particularly severe example, but
Well,
given that the sailor is still alive,
your best bet might be to just chop that arm
Well,
arm off and seal the wound.
maybe there's a way to heal it, Turk.
Well, there is if he can survive the night.
I was just about to ask, out of character, mechanically speaking, how do diseases work? 'Cause I'm not 100% sure on how diseases work mechanically speaking.
there
They're
aren't
not
good rules on
themselves,
diseases.
yeah.
There aren't good rules on diseases. There's a number of things in the game that are described as disease, and that varies from.
The
I
spell
want to say the spell
contagion has a
contagion, for example.
That's like a magically enhanced disease. It's not like a
Yeah.
regular or an extraplanar disease or whatever. It's like
this
it's
sounds
like
like
the
it came from
poisons. There's like a billion different rules for poison, and they're all.
This sounds like it came
unique.
from a
Yeah.
druid-based spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me it sounded like maybe a druid of the spores, but maybe not.
Or that
I-
druid home spell that we encountered on the way to the farmstead.
Oh no, there was potentially a grove, but
I think it could be a fucking demonic spell that just
maybe.
Well,
mutates
it's
the
necrotic, isn't
fungus.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, well,
Oh yeah.
who knows?
You guys did sail up that river and were not attacked. Per
And we
se.
were in it as well.
But we were aware of a danger in the woods when we sailed past them that we didn't engage with or investigate.
Yeah.
And we ignored that in order to push Twansel to go north to the meteor crash site.
That's it. And the
And then
druids that Tor did go away and encounter suggested that things were imbalanced, that the forest would need cared for.
So
There's a
corruption going on in the
proper
woods.
GM hint where you're going to set up your grove, Turk. Evie Woods, right outside Lurch. Hi, Larry.
Yeah, I was asking mechanically because I'm wondering whether or not to like try and pump some cure wounds into the worst off of these guys to keep them
But-
alive through the
yeah.
night.
I think that
Yeah.
would be good.
Cure wounds is definitely good for restoring hit points. So not a terrible idea. This guy, to speak in those terms, is probably quite low on his hit points.
Right.
You might even suggest that he were in the incapacitated condition. He's not conscious.
Right, so
Yeah.
let's do a 4th level cure wounds then.
Okay. I
Well,
don't know if he's got enough hit points if you max it
yeah,
out. If
can
he's
I
got,
not just suggest you do like 4 first level? I
Yeah.
don't know if you can,
Well,
but
I was
like,
about to say, I can do 3 first level.
yeah, I think that might be better. Just drop a couple of.
Right, so
I might
3
be
first
wrong.
level,
I'm
so
just.
that's 3d8, so that's 1 less than 4th level.
Yeah. Put as much as you'd like into the guy. You can roll me some things.
Yeah, so 3d8 plus 5, let's see.
And I'm not getting anywhere on this. It's like this is alien to me. Like I said, I don't really know.
So
Poisons
that's
and
17
shit.
hit points into the guy.
Okay, great, excellent. And
That's all my first levels done.
this is the unconscious man.
Yeah,
And-
this is the worst
yeah.
off of the.
Yeah, absolutely. And the skin, the parts of the skin that are healthy skin glow, they gleam. He draws a deep, deep breath. His chest swells and falls. And he remains asleep. But it feels more now like a sleep. The other man, the upright man, reaches his hand out towards you. Says, Thank you, sir. You we don't want to die. You know, we weren't carrying
Well-
weapons or nothing like that. Nothing wicked.
As he reaches his hand out to me, I'm gonna like just touch my hand to his
Yeah.
2nd level cure wounds on him.
Okay,
Just
great.
because Toggy's like
Yeah.
these guys is like his
Yeah.
empathy is just like coming out with these guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, 2d8 plus 5.
Yeah.
Just because I want these guys to survive the night if we can. Right, so that's 9
Yeah.
hit points for him.
Absolutely. And again, you see this glow all the way through to his eyes. The bloodshot eyes fade gently back to white where they should be. His fever is not broken, but he looks emotionally eased, if nothing else.
I want to grasp his forearm and just say, "Stay alive."
If I didn't use my fucking totem in the fight, where we didn't actually need it, I could have healed like all of these for loads.
Yeah.
See, I could burn through all of my remaining spell slots on cure wounds and
Yeah,
mass
but
cure wounds and stuff, but I don't.
I literally just have to use level 1 spells to get 12 hit points per person.
See, I've used all my level 1 spells now. I've got 1 5th level spell, so I could bash out a mass cure wounds, but
Eh. Long while 2 survive, they'd give us good enough.
We are
information.
getting ready to sleep.
Returning back to camp.
The nurses in the sick house, they say something along the lines of, "Oh, you can come again. That's could do
Yeah.
with some more of that." You know.
we'll be
I
back
will.
in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think though we should probably pop by that boat to make sure matey doesn't fucking go touching any of the corpses. Don't know.
He's got gloves on. He'll be fine.
Alright, let's just go fucking head straight back. And party, I guess.
The fire you will see first, and then you will hear the cheering and the singing, and then you will smell orcs and dwarves and giants, and then you will see everybody sat dancing
So sorry, Jet. Before we enter the fray, I would like to suggest to Tongi and Torok that maybe we sleep away from the crowd tonight, just in case we have been infected.
Yeah, that, all right. Can do that, I guess.
We can look a little fire over here by these trees, and
Should just cast your little fucking hut thing.
Oh, do I have it prepared?
I've got Leoman's tiny hut.
Oh, you've got it prepared?
Well, mine's always prepared because it's one of the Twilight.
Oh, I can cast it as a ritual. So yeah, we got it.
I can ritual cast it as well.
We'll just go and sleep in there for the night.
Yeah, so I can do that.
Because then there's no chance of fucking,
Yeah. I will, if necessary, shout over or whatever to Gromlan or Jethro that we're doing this so that they know where we've gone. But we'll say there's an illness in town. We got to go around tomorrow. It's bad. It looks like it came from downriver.
Ah, you got the crabs again.
That's a sigh.
Hammered.
Yeah. Excellent. You're not joining for drinks?
No.
Okay.
Tainted.
And Tongi's going to cast Leoman's tiny hut.
Well, yeah, if you guys want me to. What does ritual casting do to that?
It just means you can cast it without a spell slot, but it
just
costs less time.
Takes more time.
It takes 10 minutes.
It takes 10 minutes to ritual cast stuff.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if it was like the save spell slot or not. So yeah, I'll ritual cast Leoman's tiny hut.
We're fucking going to be probably long resting now.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck it. If it's at the end of the night, I'm going to cast fucking Mordekainen's private sanctum.
Yeah.
The orcs will be there in their little fucking thing and they just see the...
Like a massive mansion.
pop out of nowhere.
No, it's just a void in fucking...
Just avoid it, like a little split in space.
Yeah. And nobody fucking guessing what we're up to.
Well, hey,
Yeah.
you diseased boys.
We got a tri-race three-way.
Triracial conga line.
How large are you making the private sanctum?
Like 20 feet by 20 feet. Not
20 feet.
large.
Right. Great. Cool. And are you making that so you can't see in or out, or?
No, you can see in and out of it, but you just can't pass sound through it.
Yep.
Or divination spells don't work in it, or
Planar travel, things like that.
teleports
teleport
don't
in and out,
work. Yeah, exactly. Planar travel's blocked.
Yeah. Great. Okay. So I'm checking. The barrier of the water area appears dark and foggy, preventing vision, including dark vision through it.
So I'm not using that.
Okay.
But pretty much all of the others.
You choose any of the following properties. Okay, so you're making it quiet, you're making it divination proof, teleportation proof, everything like that. Okay.
Well, that's on top of the tiny hut we're staying in.
And you're staying in the tiny hut inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's an Inception thing. We might arrive out 300 years in the future. I don't know.
Yeah,
so
you might
my
just get shredded by a black hole. It's fine.
Yeah.
So my ritual casting the tiny hut inside the Terran reality.
So I'll clarify it just so that we're certain. So druid and cleric, you guys can ritually cast a ritual spell if and only if you have it prepared. Wizard, if it's in your spell book and it's a ritual, you can cast it.
Yeah,
we
talked about that back along, didn't we? With the
I can't remember whether we've clarified it before, but because Tor, for example, can prepare any druid spell.
That makes sense.
He has to have it prepared to be able to ritually cast it.
I'm seeing the same with Tongi and
cleric. Same thing with Tongi and cleric. Yeah, you can if you've got it prepared and it's a ritual spell, you can ritually cast it.
Otherwise, it's unfair as fucking it.
Obadiah, if it's in your spell book, you can ritual. And if it's in your spell book and it's a ritual spell, you'll find familiar, for example. You don't have to have that prepared. Just take the extra 10 minutes. Same thing with tiny hut, etc., etc.
So it's lucky that Tiny Hut is one of the 15 pre-prepared spells
It's
for
it's on
Twilight Clerics.
your class spell list. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's not one of the freebies. I don't have to use a prepared spell slot for it. I just get it automatically.
Excellent.
Neat.
And so
Long rest is it? What is
yeah,
it?
absolutely. We'll go towards that. As we come in towards our long rest, we have Gronon and Jethro, orcs and giants, partying on the riverbank, in among the insects. This is a strange feeling for the orcs. Are you taking time to talk them out of violence, panic,
Yeah,
wonderment?
I'm saying enjoy the night, look at the stars. I feel like it's not party atmosphere. We're just chilling, having a meet. It's more like
Yeah.
having a feast and
Okay.
a light celebration. But yeah, yeah, we sleep under the sky. There's bugs. There's birds. There's stars to look at. Everything's gonna be all right. And yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Then Jed rolls a
Enjoy the
D20.
freedom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And for and I'm going to roll one more d20 to decide something else because that's deciding one thing.
That hope best. Oh God, what
This
was
is about
the
another.
two deciding is what I'm worried about.
Yep. Cool. All right. Okay. I'll get everyone around to make perception checks. If you do not have dark vision, you will roll with disadvantage. If you are drunk, you will roll with disadvantage.
Yep.
Perception, you said, yeah?
Perception.
That's a 12
Well.
for me.
Oh,
Look.
Christ, I don't have dark in.
I also.
Also, if we're in a
13.
tiny hut within a private sanctum, can we even
No.
see out? I don't
I
know.
rode them
You can-
both
you can see-
separately,
so-
but
Yeah.
I'll take the low one, obviously, which is annoying because I rode a nat 20.
Yeah, I also rolled a nat 20.
Okay. So tiny hut you can explicitly see out of, and you've told me your private sanctum you can explicitly see out of. You can't hear out of the private sanctum.
True.
As you've told me. Okay. Who thinks they've got the highest?
13.
28.
28 on the
Yeah,
perception
definitely
check.
the highest.
Yeah.
I rolled a 19 and I got +9, so I got lucky in that
Great.
one.
Excellent. Okay. Jethro, your high was a 12. Your roll was
Yep.
12. Okay. Obadiah, with you.
I was 12 as well. I was the same as
12
you.
as well. Yeah, absolutely. And then Gronon?
13.
13. Okie dokie. And Tor, I think you told me. So that's fine. There are a couple of things to spot. By the riverside, as the night is going on, you are settling down. The orcs, some of them are unused to being outside, unused to standing. With a 13 and a 12, both of you have rolled high enough to notice one or two of the orcs wandering closer, the curiosity getting the better of them with the river. They are quite close to it, and the water is quite fast.
Okay, I will go over and I'll be like, careful there now.
Careful. You said we were free.
We are, but there are still dangers in the world. Like, you don't know how to swim. Swimming is what happens when you go in water. You could fall down the bottom, and then you can't breathe, and then you die. So you've got to learn how to swim, but don't do that now. But if you look, we'll crouch down at the edge of the river, and I'll go, look, you can pick up water and drink it, but don't go in it because this water dangerous. if you don't know how to swim. I'll teach you how to swim, but not tonight.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh, okay. Oh boy.
How charismatic are you?
Very not.
Oh no.
That's like a deuce. I think it's 2.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's +2. It's 5.
That won't help.
The response is something equivalent to "fuck off." I don't know what swimming is. Can't teach me to swim.
Is the river too fast to swim?
The river here is probably too fast to safely swim.
And if it's 50 feet wide, it's probably too fucking deep to swim.
Yeah, I'll say, look, don't go in the river. You'll hurt yourself.
The river. It's only water. We will drink it. And he bends to put a hand into the water.
Wait! No. Gotta boil it first. Could be dirty.
Oh, it's not piss.
Nah,
Even
nah.
giant piss isn't that much.
Yeah, but dirty water has dwarf shit from the city, and bugs and stuff. So I'll take the empty wine bottle, and I'll fill it up. And say, here, we put this on the fire in a pan, and then boil it. Then you drink it. I'm not
The
explaining
orc
germs to this orc.
looks kind of surly and unhappy at being pulled away from this kind of wondrous body of water. This is more water than it's seen in one place ever. It doesn't really seem to understand that it has gotten dark. There are surprises around every corner.
Mm.
There's a discomfort and an unsureness. What to trust, what can be safe. Has it left a safe, uncomfortable familiarity for this place, which is pleasure and peril, left hand and right hand?
You're free, but you've got to learn this world. You don't know the outside, so you're going to have to learn how to live in it. I've lived here all my life, so I know what I'm doing. But you've got to figure that out. And I'm telling you, lesson 1, don't jump in a river if you don't know how to swim. That's bad. But I can show you. And also, don't drink dirty water.
The orc looks down at your feet, back at the river, back to you. My name is Fizz.
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 Well met, Fizz.
Yeah, you are Jeffra.
Yeah.
Teeth Fizz.
Oh, yeah.
Fizz comes back with you towards the campsite. But glances back to the river all the same.
Hmm. I'll boil the water in the pan, and then let it cool down, and we'll drink it. Just have a water in between a drink,
Yeah,
Keep yourself hydrated.
absolutely. The night goes on. Summer's evening turns into night true. The temperature drops gently, the wind picks up, but slowly the orcs recognize that sleep is incumbent
Mm.
and begin to settle. Songs divert to jokes, divert to hopes, divert to quiet. For the three of you inside the tiny hut, you will slowly drift off yourselves. Obadiah and Tor. Sleep comes easily to you now. You've slept in the tiny hut before. You've slept outside before. Tongi, however, the night sky still feels wondrous to you. You catch yourself wondering if you will ever tire. If you catch yourself wondering if you will ever tire, if you will ever succumb to sleep, but also why somebody would wish for sleep when there are sights such as this to behold, when there is starlight and the gentle glow of the moon passing behind clouds, and all that again playing again and again infinitely on top the rippling water. And you find yourself sat upright in your sleeping bag, looking out over the field, over the plain. And you twist your head. And you realize then and only then that there is a figure silhouetted walking up upon the camp, as silent as the night itself. And we will end the session there, I think.
Oh, fuck you, Jed.
Oh, motherfucker. I was about to say,
Oh yeah.
Great, what a way to
Tong is the only person who came. Tong is the only person who got a regular perception roll. He's the only person that came close to the.
Yeah,
the
my
threshold.
300 feet of dark vision helps.
Yeah, absolutely. It helps an awful lot, and
Yeah.
I wondered if no one would make this perception check, and that would have been fun.
My 28 was lucky then. Fucking hell.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the DC was a 22, so
Ooh.
Mm.
Well, actually, anything over a 13 then. If I'd rolled anything over 13, I would have been fine.
Yeah, pretty good.
Because my +9, so.
yeah.
But yeah,
Awesome.
so obviously I'm unavailable next week, so we're going to have to wait 2 weeks for this.
Fuck you.
Fair.
I'm sorry, guys. Normally the LARP wouldn't be a 5-day event, but this is a
Wow,
special
bloody
thing.
hell. Fair enough. Good life. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Jed.
All right. Yeah.
great.
No sweat.
That
Well
was
done,
wonderful,
fellas.
Ted.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
Change in pace. No combat or anything this week, but
Mm.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
still
Wonderful.
great,
Wonderful
though.
little,
Yeah.
little role play episode.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good.
We are getting closer to the release of the new edition.
yes. So
Just
I
saying
think
that. So I
um,
subscribe to D&D Beyond, so we should be getting it 2 weeks earlier than it's advertised.
Ooh.
And we should all be able to see the books. Although reading books online is a pain in the tits.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be fucking PDFs knocking around that we can just grab.
one of the YouTubers I follow has basically said that the embargo for people that have got media copies ends on the 1st of August, and so
Oh,
basically day one he's going to start posting, hey, this is what is going to change in the rules. These are the new rules for the game.
Cool. Post up some links.
So
so
yeah,
we can take a look.
I'll put some stuff in the channel as and when it goes live. Vic, I think you follow this same guy.
Is it
Is it?
Templeton, matey?
Treant Monk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's new to me.
Uh,
So
he-
I plan on
yeah.
buying the books and reading them,
Yeah.
but I'll read them and then forget them. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But I
that's
wouldn't read
my plan. Is I'll buy this new book as it comes out. But I think to get the kind of early advanced stuff, by all accounts, the guy seems a fair and good critic, and he has said the things that are improved are improved. And I don't just mean in terms of power level. I mean like clarifications on the rules. When I said before, like there aren't really rules on disease. He's talked at length about how things like the rules on stealth don't really make any sense. And it's a lot of it is up to GM discretion. So I'm imagining certain things like that are going to be
stealth's
clarified and
always
fixed.
been
Yeah.
weird.
Yes,
'Cause
exactly.
It's like
Has it?
there's a whole party,
Mm.
With,
and like
how,
3 of them are in plate mail armor.
Yeah.
and clanking with like 7 weapons on them, and it's like, okay, who's got
Yeah,
the best stealth in the
average is
group?
over
Make a
19.
stealth roll. And it's like, that doesn't
Right,
make any
hey,
fucking sense.
Normally it's individual stealth rolls, and then that affects the overall DC.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah, but
I will ask you in a more
Asmon's-
granular sense. When can you attempt to hide? What do you need to attempt to hide?
I'm going to go to bed. Speak to you
Yes,
later.
have a good night, Sam. Good to speak
Bye,
to you.
Tom.
Yes, yes.
You need a boner.
Well, when do you? What do you mean by that?
Wait,
no, it's like,
that's what I'm asking. So the rules say you can attempt to hide, but they don't give any more detail than that.
So when you
Right.
can succeed.
Oh, well, like
So
when you're.
what circumstances can you
Yeah.
just crouch down in front of him?
Yeah.
I'll
Now,
hide now.
if I want to try and hide, do I
Cover
need
your
to get
face.
something that blocks? Yeah. Is this just a question of if I'm a rogue and I can attempt to hide as a bonus action? Do I need to get something blocking the view of the enemy? Do I need to be obscured in some way, like behind
Cover
a
up
cover?
can I just
Concealment.
be
Yeah, I would
standing
say,
in
yeah.
dim light?
Can I? Yeah.
It's like
Can I
that.
do that?
I would
Yeah.
say you need like cover. It's like
Yeah.
else they can
Yeah,
see
but the
you.
rules don't clarify
the
that, so
rules
it's like
don't say
sometimes
that.
you can just say,
Oh,
Yeah.
but that's just nitpicking. Surely that's just nitpicking.
no,
Any-
but
any-
some of
any
the
reasonable
rogue
GM.
builds are like designed around that. I played one. It was like bonus action hide. It's like, where? It's like, I don't give a fuck. It's your
Yeah,
problem. You're the GM.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and I've played with rogues, and again, I think I've played a rogue where every turn it's like, as a bonus action, I'd like to try and hide, and the DM has to look and go, what do you mean you try to hide? Hopefully,
like, I
we'll
make
get some
myself
rules
look
to
like
what
a
that
tree.
means. Yeah. So
Yeah, I suppose that's how you play.
yeah.
Like if I played a rogue, I would have been like, I would have asked like, is there cover or something nearby?
Yeah,
Which
but
is
the
much
GM
move
could
to
still
it
say
and
no, and then you could still say bonus action hide.
Yeah.
Because the rules say you can hide. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
You can
Now,
attempt time.
but and the GM can say there's nothing that you can hide behind, but the rules don't outright say you need to hide behind something or you need to poke cover or something like that. Now, hopefully, we'll get some clarified rules. It is the spirit of 5e in general has been DM rulings rather than hard rules, but it'd be good to get some clarification between certain things. Hopefully, in fact, I know this is an example that I know for certain that we're going to get explanation. How does telepathy work in game?
Yeah.
There is no common explanation as to how telepathy works. So the telepathy that
I don't like
Obadiah
any
has
of the psychic rules.
versus the
Because-
telepathy that the green skin creature that you met in Gulrod's basement just has telepathy, but that's not explained anywhere. I don't know whether it needed to be able to see you or not, and I ruled that it didn't. But like presumably it needs to know that you're there. So as to how telepathy works, I don't know. So yeah, stuff like that. I'm looking for certain improvements in certain bits of the rules.
But also, one thing that concerns me is like all of the classes have been given buffs. It doesn't seem like any of them have been nerfed. But also, they're only releasing
Ranger
the monster manual
next year.
like 3 months later.
Yeah,
So
beginning
it's
of next
like-
year. I think it's due to come out, isn't it? Yeah, it's
So what? Like, it's the
Yeah.
same enemy. It's the same, or it's
Yeah.
the same 5th ed enemy, but it's this.
Yeah.
It's the boosted character classes, which means it's even easier. Anyway,
yes, yeah.
I don't mind that piece. I'll just throw a red dragon at you. But you know,
Well, yeah. If as you said, Gav, if you're keen for running some playtest stuff, some kind of test situations, everything, I think I'd appreciate that a lot. I think September, as I've said, is going to be. I'm not going to have the time to plan because work's going to kick my ass for a few weeks.
yeah, I think it'd be beneficial to run a few playtests in a. I don't want to say like a world lore accurate, but we might use Verdania as a test bed for just shits and giggles, and we can see what happens. I don't have. I did after weeks of looking find a scenario that could work in my Verdania campaign that was planning to do an Underdark thing.
Yeah.
But again, it was like it's not ideal. It'd be a little bit of shoehorning like I've done in previous campaigns. But yeah, I think there's general value there of like we get to see what the new rules look like, the new characters look like. And I think I'd do it at multiple levels because we've all played this game for a while now, and some of us have played for a long time now. I think I was thinking, okay, we run at a third level because that's when a lot of choices are picked up and character builds get interesting.
Every subclass kicks in at third now.
Well, it used to, but now it's getting kicked in at first and second and third. Because
that's my point. Is with the new rules, it's going to be third.
Yeah.
I got.
So it's
Bye-bye.
like.
Have a good night.